Hello, good morning. Good morning. We continue with this silly little stargazer game that is totally about stargazing. And not about me trying to get with all of my female patients. I hope everybody had a wonderful and productive Saturday evening. I fucking didn't. I always tell myself, if I'm not streaming on Saturdays and Wednesdays, I need to do something productive with that time. Do I ever? No. Never. Never. I always think I'm going to be way more productive than I end up being. I literally sat in my recliner for probably 8 hours, other than to get up and like switch laundry from the washer to the dryer and make lunch and dinner and put away groceries. I somehow didn't. That's all I did in 8 hours, and I don't know how. I don't know how I managed to do nothing else. It astounds me sometimes. How little I can do. Well, I was like, how long was that?
Archbishop Whitgift, glory to the Lord in the highest position in the church, except for the Queen. Glory to the Lord, Archbishop Whitgift.
Ho! Ho there! Be there anyone at home?
Is it? By the saints, 'tis none other than Archbishop John Whitgift. Your Grace, I am most honoured by this most unexpected visit.
Truly, 'tis most unexpected, as I just so happened to be passing by. Indeed, I was riding by in my carriage when I found myself struck ill. My chaplain did suggest I take rest at the nearest residence, which did so happen to be this small dwelling. Forsooth, these rooms have the look of a physician's consulting chambers. Mayhap you are a doctor? If that be true, then praise be to God for this happy coincidence.
A most fortunate coincidence indeed. I am Simon Foreman, a doctor of astrology and physic. At your service, Your Grace.
Well then, Dr. Dr. Foreman, was it? Perchance you will tell me what ails me. I feel a kind of pain and heaviness in my side, and I know not if this be related, but my skin has of late become most unattractive in appearance.
Pain in the right side of the body and sallowness of the skin.
Her Majesty did remark upon it most wittily the other day at a meeting of the Privy Council. Your face does serve as a warning to us all, Archbishop.
Her Majesty the Queen, verily. A moment, if I may, Your Grace, while I consult the stars. What does cause the suffering of His Grace, the Most Reverend John Whitgift, the Archbishop of Canterbury?
Oh, is this the bishop that one chick wants to sleep with? Is suffering from the jaundice, a condition characterized by collar seeping into the skin when the tube connecting to the gallbladder to the liver is blocked. Suffering from cardiac passion, characterized by grievous pain in the heart and gnawing sensation throughout the body. I'm going to assume it's jaundice.
You are afflicted with jaundice, Your Grace. Yellow bile has seeped into your skin, causing it to become yellow-hued in appearance.
'Tis the jaundice, is it? I see.
Pray, have a servant boil this pouch of herbs in water. The liquor is to be injected up the fundament once each day. It should draw the collar away from your skin and into your bowels. William!
Excellent. I will have my chaplain see to it. My, who do we have here?
Before you take your leave, Your Grace, I would have my manservant William let blood from your right arm.
Indeed. Very well, then.
Before you depart, Your Grace, perchance I might trouble you with a request of my own?
Good day, sir. My chaplain will settle payment with you anon.
Uh-oh. Why can't we play as William? He seems to have a much more interesting life. William Buck. I think he said his manservant's name was. I wonder how much Foreman pays him.
What does it matter if errors he makes? Let others mend other things Essex breaks. Our Lord has much to gain to the risks he takes. Commoners may pay, but nobles only learn from their mistakes.
No, he returned from his expedition. And he's about to give me a tongue lashing, I imagine.
Good day, my lord, and well met. Indeed, methinks I have not seen your lordship since last year, afore you set off with Sir Walter Raleigh to capture those Spanish treasure ships.
Ah, yes. Doubtless you heard what became of that expedition. The town criers called it Raleigh and Essex's gold piracy fail, declaring it the biggest balls-up since the English Armada.
Aye, 'twas most ill-mannered of them, if I may remark.
'Tis all Raleigh's fault, of course. For when I revealed that I had gotten our navigational directions from you, he had our men turn the fleet around and sail in the opposite direction. 'Twas his navigation that got us lost. Our ships ended up
thank God.
becalmed in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, leaving England undefended. Who is the beef-headed chudlord now, eh, Raleigh?
Well, indeed.
Oh, thank God it's not my
Of course,
fault.
Raleigh refuses to apologise, and we are no longer on speaking terms.
Alas, 'tis most lamentable you were unable to use the directions I gave you. Well now, how may I assist you this day?
I would have you tell me how I might regain the favour of the Queen. Indeed, 'tis strange she has not yet gotten over her displeasure, for the incident did occur many months ago. And we had every intention of returning her warships, filled to the brim with gold, I might add. Besides, how in the devil's name were we supposed to know the King of Spain would choose that very same month to invade England? I have not the power to predict the future.
Well, nay, but I have, my lord, if you had asked me to.
Verily, 'tis not to be borne. Only last week, at a meeting of the Privy Council, during a minor disagreement regarding the Catholic rebellion in Ireland, she called me an impudent lord-splainer, whereupon she rose from her chair and molly-whopped me in the face. I half drew my sword upon her.
You mean the Queen?
Aye, indeed. Her behaviour was most shocking. I even asked the royal physician whether she may have lost her mind. She is, after all, most elderly. But Mr. Smith assures me she is in very fine health and is in full control of her faculties.
Her Majesty's behaviour is a mystery indeed, although mayhap it should not surprise us. A man's reason is oft insufficient to fathom the workings of the feminine mind, and, in such cases, he may have little choice but to call upon divine wisdom. To wit, let us see what the stars can tell us. What must Lord Devereux do to regain the Queen's favour?
What must he do indeed? Okay. May reverse his change in fortune by turning his working relationship with the Queen into a sexual one. Devereux's ambitions may be achieved if he is gentle. Devereux should pretend to be in love with the Queen. Devereux should not act in haste. He should make an intelligent suggestion to mount a military campaign in a foreign country. Devereux should assume a position of authority, in keeping with his birthright as a peer of the realms. Must show the Queen he is a loyal man who does his duty. I mean, I think It's hard to say which one is correct, because I'm sure the queen wouldn't mind a young consort if she's an old woman, because that's the kind of thing that happens in ye days of all of them. But England also did love to invade people. It was their favorite pastime as a country. Let's invade somebody.
To regain the Queen's favour, you must demonstrate your fealty to her, your loyalty as a peer of the realm who sits on her privy council. To this end, the stars suggest you offer to lead a military campaign to put down this Catholic rebellion in Ireland. Your lordship is, after all, a great military leader. What better man for such a task than the hero of Cadiz?
Verily, 'tis no ill idea. 'Tis no ill idea at all. Yes, indeed, I shall offer to put down the Irish for her. Forsooth, how difficult could such a mission be? I shall quickly defeat those fen-sucking muck-savages and be back home by Christmas. Huzzah!
Huzzah! Godspeed, my lord.
Easy. Because I probably won't see him for a year anyway. The Irish are idiot drunkards, thus easy to vanquish. We English would not make jest about the Irish if this were not so.
Though our hero Simon Foreman's not a Catholic, he disapproves of Mary for her views. They make him sick, but pray he does not tell her, lest she punch him in the punch him in the
Good day, Mistress Payne. How may I help you this day?
Blessed day, Dr. Foreman. I am just come from taking my niece to visit Rochester Cathedral. Thomas Blogg is the cathedral's dean, I believe. Know you of Dean Blogg?
I know something of him.
Yes, his
Verily,
renovations.
that man is a model to us all. Under his stewardship, the cathedral's decadent furnishings have been stripped away. He has even replaced the silver candlesticks with pewter. Such pious modesty in the sight of God.
Has he indeed? How very interesting. And, godly, yes. But what is it that brings you this day?
Uh-oh.
Before I begin upon my business, Dr. Foreman, I must insist you acknowledge your failings. You were most wrong to frighten me with these notions of England being invaded by the Spanish.
Ah, yes, that.
I mean,
though to be fair,
we
I do not
were.
think anybody could have predicted the storm that sunk the Spanish ships. It was most unexpected.
And we must give thanks to God for the divine vengeance he wrought upon the heretics. I did hear that by morning our beaches were verily littered with the corpses of Spanish sailors. Praise be to the Lord, his glory to behold.
Yes, praise be. But all the same, you seem anxious this day, Mistress Payne. What is troubling you?
Indeed, I am troubled, Dr. Foreman. I fear for the Queen's health. Everyone is saying that as she is exceeding old, she is soon to die.
Ah, yes, I quite understand your feelings, madam. How we love our good Queen Bessie. Long may she reign. But will she? That is the question, is it not? For she cannot live forever, and when at last she does expire, we shall be stricken with such lamentation and grief.
Mayhap you, but not I. Elizabeth Tudor is naught but a sceptred whore, but still a whore who presides over the Church of England and keeps Rome at bay. And without an heir, who knows what manner of foreigner may succeed her when she dies? For all we know, he may flood the land with foul popery.
Foul popery? I take it you do not care for dried floral arrangements. But, madam, surely fresh flowers are more customary at royal funerals.
Did you not heed me, Mr. Foreman? I wish to know whether the English throne is safe from a Catholic successor.
Ah, yes, of course. Then let us consult the stars. Is our Queen's long reign in danger of ending soon? And if so, do we risk a Catholic succeeding her to the throne?
Oh God. I don't know English history. I don't know who succeeded her, but I'm pretty sure it was a Catholic eventually, right? Alright, the Queen is in love. An unexpected pregnancy will bring new life to the Tudor royal line. The Queen's legacy is safe. Even if she dies, her successor will remain head of the Church of England and loyal to the Anglican faith. Bonds between nations will be creatively disrupted with violence, and austerity will be imposed as a result. Cooperation offered by a foreign country is not what it seems, as doubtless represents England's ally, King James of Scotland. I don't know. Everything will be fine.
The Queen's prognosis is good, madam. God will ensure she remains in health for some years yet. And when at last Her Majesty does expire, whomever succeeds her will happily take his place at the head of the Church of England. I may assure you that England will not revert its allegiance to the Church of Rome.
Ah, praised be! To know that England shall remain safe from Satan's earthly servants is well indeed. Fare you well, and may God give you a blessed day, Dr. Foreman.
Just tell them what they want to hear. The weather is lovely this day. Mayhap I take my niece to the new cockpit in Vauxhall. She does love to see the cocks. Same. Chickens, of course.
Had some different choices been made, might Lancelot have been spared from the blade.
Good day, Mr. Moore. How fare you this fine Tuesday? Oh, on my word, you do not look well. Your face is very pale, and I detect a foul odour.
'Tis true, I fare not well. But there is no reason to be rude about it, Foreman.
Sir, I was merely expressing my concern. You appear stricken with fever, and, methinks, an infected wound.
Aye, I shall undo my breeches for you. There, do you see?
My, I do see. 'Tis a knife wound by the look of it.
A barber surgeon did stitch it up, but now it does ooze this noisome green stuff all over my fine linens. So, I came to you.
And you were very right to do so.
Aye, I was, because I think it only fair that you fix it. After all, this is all your fault, Foreman.
My fault? Sir, I do not follow.
You told me I had nothing to fear from that wretched maiden's family when I broke off my engagement, but you were wrong.
Then I am most sorry for it. I gather the family did not take the news philosophically.
Verily, they did not. The maid herself wept, as is to be expected, but the father took it most violently. He called me an oath-breaking chudlord, whereupon he laid hands upon me and threw me out onto the street.
Indeed.
But 'twas not the end of it, for some weeks later I was set upon by the maid's brother and his band of knaves. They left me for dead behind an alehouse. If I had not been discovered by the night watch, I might have died.
Sorry business indeed. I will have my manservant William clean your wound and apply a balm to it. But pray tell me more of your fever. How oft does it come?
Well, I did not have this fever yesterday, and I was well enough to go to church on Sunday. Oh, and to the theatre the day before. But Friday last, I was stricken abed with it.
Fever this day and Friday last. Now mayhap we consult the stars. What kind of fever has Lancelot Moore?
Intermittent fever. Moore is troubled with the quotidian fever. It is caused by petrified phlegm and occurs every day. Well, no. With the quartan fever, it is caused by putrefied bile and occurs every fourth day. So I had it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday he was fine, and then it could be that. has the tertian fever. It is caused by putrefied cholera and occurs every third day. I think it's because he had the fever on Friday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday would be 3 days, and then on the fourth day he had a fever, so I would say it would be the quartan fever.
You're troubled with the quartan fever, a fever that comes every fourth day. It's caused by rotting bile. You must abstain from eating pork and any other meats that slow the digestion, and you must not bathe, but have a servant rub your back very vigorously every day until the fever abates.
Then what is it that you're mixing for me there? 'Tis true I am thirsty, but have you no wine you might offer me instead?
'Tis an infusion of chamomile, mallow, mercury, and leaves of the black violet. William shall be administering it up the fundament. Pray lower your breeches, if you please.
I don't think you should be taking mercury anyway, especially, that way. It is well I wore dark colors today, for methinks I do begin to leak a little. Gross.
Rejoice, rejoice in the Lamb. The Lamb, served by his bishop, to his guests for dinner at his palace in love. Rejoice, rejoice in the Lamb, and beef and fruit and the swan.
Sorry, I'm watching the dog and the cat play.
Good day, and well met, Lord Archbishop. What a pleasure it is to welcome your grace once more to my humble consulting chambers. Do you ail of something, sir?
Nay, I am in good health. I am come for information. That is, I am come for an astrological reading concerning one of my deans, Thomas Blagg, the Dean of Rochester Cathedral. I hear you are acquainted with him, are you not?
Yes, so please your grace. I am honoured to say that Dean Blagg is one of my querents.
I see. What a remarkable coincidence. Then you may know that Dean Blagg has been petitioning me to promote him to the rank of bishop, specifically to grant him the vacant seat of the bishopric of Salisbury. I wonder if you, that is, if the stars and planets and so forth, might tell me if there be any reason why Thomas Blagg might not be a fitting candidate for such a position of responsibility.
I see. Then let us see what the stars can tell us. Should Thomas Blagg, Dean of Rochester, be made the Bishop of Salisbury?
Querent John The querent John Whitgift is not an honorable man. Blagg is a frugal manager of church funds. John Whitgift would be wise to cooperate with his employee, Dean Blagg. Financial deceit is being committed against the church. Dean Blagg has creatively and successfully stolen from the church. Dean Blagg is on an emotional journey. Dean Blagg is questioning his religious principles. Blagg's heresy would be a shocking blow for the bishop. Well, I mean, we know that he is stealing from the church. And we are also, I mean, we got in trouble with his wife before because we didn't receive his, or we lied to her. I don't know if telling him actively affects our standing with Blagg, because I don't think it did last time. So I think we be honest with the Archbishop and tell him that he's swindling the church.
You must not grant Thomas Blagg the bishopric of Salisbury, your grace, for it seems Dean Blagg has been embezzling from the church. He has been removing cathedral furnishings, fine paintings, tapestries, candlesticks, and the like, and selling them for his own enrichment, or mayhap to pay off his personal debts.
Verily? Well, I do hear it remarked that the Rochester Cathedral has been looking a little Puritan of late. Mayhap I shall have my chaplain cast an eye over the cathedral accounts.
Before you leave, Your Grace, perchance I may broach a small matter of my own. Methinks you have the power to grant medical licenses, do you not? Although I am an experienced physician, you may have heard of my work during the plague of 1592, for instance, I am not technically licensed to practice medicine. It has been causing some administrative troubles of late. I wonder if Your Grace might condescend to help me by...
You would have me grant you a medical license, would you? I suppose that might be arranged. Leave it with me, and I will have my chaplain look into it.
I thank you heartily, Your Grace. Your Grace is most generous.
You can have my manservant, if it'll, influence your decision. In truth, it is well to know that Blogg is only a thief, not developing Puritan sympathies as I had feared.
Alice Blogg is on the make, mayhap even on the take. Could it be for her family's sake? Seriously give her a break.
God give you good day, Mistress Blogg. Pray tell, what brings you?
I would know whether my lover, Owen Wood, is resolved to leave me something in his will. A small legacy, mayhap. A large one. I do hope he intends to leave me something.
Owen Wood? He is the Dean of Armagh, is he not? Was not your interest directed toward the Bishop of London?
Aye, but your counsel for wooing him served me most ill. When the bishop came to visit the archbishop in Lambeth, I smiled and nodded and kept my knees together like you advised, but 'twas all for naught. The archbishop's wife thought I was taken ill and sent me to bed directly after dinner.
Forsooth, I am sorry to hear it, though mayhap it was for the best. Now, perchance we may proceed to this matter concerning Owen Wood. Pray tell, why would you wish to know whether he has included you in his will? Is he gravely ill?
Not presently, but methinks he will be soon, for he has gone to Ireland to join that peacocking mumphead, the Earl of Essex.
I see. He has gone to fight in Robert Devereux's military campaign to put down the Catholic rebels in Ireland. But you're being a little harsh, are you not? 'Tis true he has had some bad luck of late, but the Earl is a fine...
Oh, a swole-headed failson is what his lordship is. 'Twould not surprise me if he read his map upside down and marched his men into a bog to drown. Pray, let us do my reading, if you please.
Certainly. If Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh, were to die, would Alice Blogg inherit anything from his estate?
Apparently my cat is being a menace. Alright. Let's see. Owen Wood has fitted away his fortune. Dean Wood's time in Ireland will be gentle. Good angels will compel Owen Wood to be faithful to his wife. The romance between Alice Blogg and Owen Wood is marred with conflict and deceit. Owen Wood would not resist being charitable to his lover Alice. She is due to receive a legacy from Wood upon his death, much to the surprise and chagrin of Mistress Wood. Oops. He is keeping a secret to be revealed upon his death. How the fuck am I supposed to know is the question here. Like, I can't believe that the game is completely random, or not random, but like, there's probably something that I am absolutely missing somewhere where I would be able to read this correctly. Because right now it just feels random. But maybe it's also intended to promote replayability, where it's like, oh, you kind of just guess on your first playthrough, you see how it was supposed to go, and then you play it a second time knowing everything. Which is possible. I mean, the chances of me getting her, is good morning, Mr. Altab. Hello. The chances of me getting her letter of recommendation is very low, I think. So, I think we just tell her what she wants to hear and hope it works out.
You are indeed mentioned in Dean Wood's will. Unbeknownst to his wife, he plans to leave you a portion of his fortune. Forsooth, that is what the stars do tell. But if I might offer you my own counsel...
Oh, what an angel of a man! Did I not know it? Dearest Owen, I shall raise a toast to him at the Quiet Bear this even.
This night I will sleep soundly, mayhaps for the first time since I learned that Blog had ruined us.
Almighty God, shelter thy servant Thomas Blagg. Take him in thy merciful arms, and shake sense into him.
Good dawning, D. Blagg. How may I do you service this day?
I must begin by thanking you for your previous service, Dr. Foreman. For though the previous reading you gave me was hard to hear, it was honest and true.
Ah, yes. Raleigh and Essex's pursuit of the Spanish treasure ships did not end well, so I hear, though I am glad I was able to give you fair warning of it.
As am I. A most lamentable affair that has cost me very dear. And I know not how, but my wife Alice has lately learned of our perilous financial situation.
Ah, has she?
Aye, and she has had me petition the Archbishop for a promotion. 'Tis her reckoning that if I were promoted to bishop, the increased living would enable me to settle our debts.
That would seem wise under the circumstances. And was your petition successful?
It was. At least at first. Indeed, His Grace did have me believe he is minded to make me Bishop of Salisbury.
The bishopric of Salisbury? But that is excellent well, is it not?
It would be very well, forsooth. But many months have passed, and the Archbishop gives yet no sign of granting the vacant bishopric to anybody.
I see. And he does not say when the matter may be decided?
Nay, indeed he does not. Whenever I raise the question with His Grace, he says he needs time to consider the various episcopal and doctrinal matters concerning such an appointment. All the while, he has me performing additional duties that I dare not refuse, lest I lose his favour. And Mistress Blagg has sent him pies upon numerous occasions.
And yet the Archbishop is not moved? Oh, he must be a very hard man indeed, for your wife's pies are well renowned for their powers of persuasion. Now, let us see what the stars can tell us. Will Thomas Blagg, Dean of Rochester, be granted the bishopric of Salisbury?
Well, I already have his letter of recommendation, so I might as well be honest with him. Blagg's relationship with the Archbishop will remain amicable. Blagg has demonstrated his godliness. Blog's professional ambitions will be realized if he exercises patience. A deception concerning the theft of goods has been uncovered. Blog is advised to travel with his wife. God will help Blog succeed by radically transforming the Archbishop's opinion of Blog's intelligence, thus raised in the Archbishop's esteem. Blog will be granted the bishopric, which comes with a considerable increase in pay. Well, let's just be honest with him because we have his letter of recommendation already, and that is really all that I need from you.
You will never be granted the bishopric of Salisbury, I fear, for the Archbishop has discovered some irregularities in the management of Rochester Cathedral. Some missing furnishings, I think?
Well, I mean to say, if indeed that be so, then 'tis most egregious. I will have some very stern words with my chaplain.
Worry not, sir. The stars indicate that His Grace would wish to avoid any unpleasantness. As is customary with church scandal, he will doubtless remain quiet on the matter for the sake of reputation.
Ah, well, of course I too would not want to bring shame upon the church. If there be such vile, false rumours circulating about me, 'twould be wrong not to consider the attention that my promotion to bishop would invite. I own that I am shocked and disappointed by this, but I must thank you for forewarning me.
Would that I had not replaced all the silver candlesticks with pewter and left the 2 on the altar.
Lancelot more awe-struck by the muse, for his sonnets found there be no excuse. Many do strike him as well, and for his verse they damn him to hell.
Ah, good morrow, Mr. Moore. How fare you this day?
Forsooth, I fare very well, for I have become acquainted with the most wondrous of creatures, a lady who has lately been widowed.
Ah, let me just take some notes here. Is this one dark or fair? Auburn with eyes of green, mayhap? I do not believe there's yet been an auburn-haired maid.
Fie, Mr. Foreman. Prithee show more respect for ladies than to view them as mere collections of physical charms. Beauty alone is of nothing to a man such as I. Nay, my heart does belong to a worldly woman of culture and learning. Her head almost as striking as the soft hair and radiant eyes that adorn it.
Is it the woman that kills people?
Her gift of understanding is so strong, she can listen to my sonnets for hours on end.
She can she? Forsooth, the lady does show great strength of mind indeed. And how might I advise you?
I would have you tell me whether I should marry her, for, as you know, I have offered my troth to ladies in the past, and it has not ended well for me. So, this time I did tell myself, Lancelot, you will proceed with caution. You will know the lady for at least a month before you think of wedding her, and then you'll go directly to Foreman for his counsel.
Then let us consult the stars now. Should Lancelot Moore marry this wondrous and worldly widow?
Sorry, I was coughing. I have the distinct impression that he's talking about that. I think her name is Emma. Is it Emma? Oh, Amelia. Emma is the one that I'm thinking of, though. Amelia is the other woman that I see. I think he's talking about her, and she's actively killing her husbands. But she is also dating old men, specifically so that they can die, and she won't be put under suspicion. So maybe it's not her, but it's just, it's a widow that we know. Moore is allowing his emotion. Hello, Anzi. Moore is allowing his emotions to rule his finances, putting them at risk by acting impatiently. Deceitful hidden motives are at play. The match would provoke an unexpected death resulting in an inheritance. I think it should be that one. The widow is an intelligent woman who aspires to greatness through her relationships. God favors the marriage. It would make a man of Moore. The stars suggest I have cruel intentions towards my querent. Well, no. It can't be that. It's gotta be this one.
You must not marry this lady, sir. You are a wealthy man, and she has designs upon your fortune that may result in your untimely death.
Ye gods! Verily?
I am afeard so. You must take care not to let your emotions lead you astray.
She seemed so. She told me she... Are you sure? You did not put a planet in the wrong house or whatnot?
Aye, quite sure.
Oh, well indeed, 'tis most lamentable. Oh, what a waste of such fine eyes. Mayhap Emma has a sister.
I was right. It was Emma. You're welcome, dude. I just saved you from dying. You can't get a letter of recommendation from a dude you just literally saved from death?
Sybil's not blessed, for when she tries her best, 'tis then she does her worst. From being overdressed to poisoning her guests, ambitions are her curse.
Good day, Mistress Fortescue.
I do hope you may help me, Dr. Foreman, for I am mightily afflicted with fever and pain.
Yes, I see. Your face is a trifle red in colour. When did your troubles begin? At a dinner party, perchance?
Nay, 'twas at a luncheon, the one I gave this day. I sought to play a trick upon my friend, Lady Emma Dyer, and I worry God is punishing me for my japery.
And what manner of jape did you play on your friend at this luncheon of yours? Pray, describe the ruse to me.
Well, I came upon the idea when I took receipt of a trunk full of exotic goods from the New World. Lovely gifts sent home to me by my gallant husband. Know you of my husband, Captain Henry Fortescue? He is a great friend of Sir Walter Raleigh, of course.
I think you have mentioned him once or twice, madam.
The trunk contained a parcel of dried fruits, full red in colour they were, and with them a note of warning. On it was writ that these fruits, if not consumed in moderation, can provoke a hot, pricking fever when ingested.
Ah, yes. I have read of this fruit in the writings of Spanish explorers. Capsicum Icaramba mequema is the botanical name, I believe.
I am well known for serving the most original dishes at my table. Hence my guests were not surprised when I invited them to try my exotic fruit. I served them each a sweet pie containing one of these, capsicum...
Icaramba mequema.
But I made sure Emma received a pie containing the very largest fruit, and I the very smallest one.
I see. You hoped to occasion a fever in your friend while escaping the same fate yourself. And yet this ruse did not succeed, I take it.
Nay, it did not, Dr. Foreman. Most of my guests dared only take one bite of their pies before abandoning them, finding themselves unequal to the challenge. But Emma ate hers all up, as did I. I was sure I would be safe, and that she would turn red and begin to perspire most shamefully, but she remained as cool as a cucumber. But
you, madam?
But I began to feel such pain in my mouth and throat. My face and eyes turned red. Moisture gathered on my brow and bosom, and damp marks appeared on my bodice. I could not conceal it from my guests. 'Twas humiliating.
How distressing for you, madam. Let us now seek a solution to this mystery in the stars. What might explain the querent's affliction?
She just ate some hot peppers. The querent is experiencing a short attack of lusty passions, a condition that can occasion bodily heat and blushing in the face. The querent has been bewitched. The querent is suffering from a kind of quinsy caused by an abundance of blood flowing to the head and throat. It can occasion swelling, fever, and redness in the face. Well, I mean, she just had some peppers. She'll be fine. Just don't eat the peppers again. I mean, I don't know. Do I tell her that she's bewitched so that she goes after Emma? Seeing as she's fucking killing people? Fuck it.
Your suffering is the work of witchcraft, madam. The witch used her magic to exchange Lady Emma Dyer's suffering with yours, doubtless through some complex process of bodily transmogrification.
Oh!
Aye. Or indeed the witch contrived to switch your pies. 'Tis not entirely clear. What is clear, however, is that the use of such magic is exceeding risky. You might have died, madam.
Verily, 'tis sad that Emma feels she must stoop to such low, unnatural tricks to gain advantage over me.
Forsooth, 'tis most lamentable. To summon the dangerous power of the dark arts to achieve such trifling ends as besting a rival at a mere luncheon party. In truth, 'tis very reckless indeed.
Well, to be sure, Doctor, 'twas well to have this mystery resolved. God give you good even.
Yay! Foreman may think my dinner's foolish, but I warrant more affairs of state are resolved at my table than by the Privy Council.
Humphrey Bell, who is this coming youth? Mayhap a little shy, but pleasing to the eye. His eyes, his hair, his shape, his form, forsooth, has he a sweetheart? Pray tell us the truth.
I don't think Foreman cares.
Good morrow, young sir. Methinks this is your first consultation, Mr.
Humphrey Bell, sir.
And how may I do you service this day, Mr. Bell?
I
I want
recognize
to get
his name.
lean in that.
You wish to become lean, you say? And why would you need to be any leaner than you are now? You do not appear at all overplump. Indeed, you appear to be a young man in the full vigour of health.
Yay, but I do the lady parts though, innit?
You do the lady parts. Oh, I see. You are a player who plays feminine roles upon the stage. Yes, I think I recognize you now. You play for Lord Chamberlain's men, do you not? The company of players led by Will Shakespeare, Richard Burbage, and Will Kemp, among others.
Aye, sir. I play for them as a hired man, and next month I'm to play a fairy queen in a play we're doing for Lord Hunston at his daughter's wedding. But Bossman Burbage says I'm too plump for the role.
Humphrey, your girth does make it difficult for an audience to imagine you getting up out of your fairy throne, let alone flying.
Yes, I think I understand. 'Twould imperil the audience's suspension of disbelief, thus breaking the fourth wall, as you players so call it.
Ah, sir, indeed. Mr. Burbage worries much for them scenery walls, for he says my rear end is of such a size 'tis liable to smash right through 'em. Anyways, Mistress Burbage told me that to fit into her gowns she bids herself chunder after eating. Might you give me some herbs for that or something?
And Mistress Burbage would be Richard Burbage's wife, I presume. Well, to judge what would be most effective in your case, I shall need to consult the stars. What should Mr. Humphrey Bell do to become leaner?
May provoke downward purging from his fundament by inducing an imbalance of phlegm. Gross. May induce upward purging from his stomach by consuming canis sicco excrementum to induce an imbalance of choler. Humphrey's condition has been provoked by chronic overconsumption of food. He must commit to underconsumption of food if he hopes to become leaner. Let's just give him what he wants.
Mr. Bell, I will prescribe you something to induce upward purging. It will serve to void your stomach of its contents, and by, you will become leaner. Pray, call by your local apothecary and make purchase of some canis seco excrementum, or dried dog excrement, as is more commonly known.
Gross.
You are to mix it with water and take it up the nose after each meal.
What do you mean? Like dog doings? Are you playing about or something? You would have me snort flipping dog turd? I will not lie, that sounds well mad.
Mayhap if you were to mix the excrement with a little honey, that can oft help the medicine go down a trifle easier.
No disrespect or nothing, but I ain't doing that, Doctor. Not even to be a fairy queen. Give you good day, sir.
It's what you asked for. What is in that doctor man? He's away with the fairies or something. Perhaps he knows one who could play for Mr. Burbage.
Favored is Essex and close to the crown. Nobles like him do fare up more than down. His family's too grand to jail, too rich to jail. But if Essex disobeys the Queen, she'll put him in the ground.
Good day, my lord. I must own, your lordship's visit to my chambers does surprise me, for I'd believed, well, indeed all of England believes, that you are in Ireland at present.
Did anyone see me? No? Good. Now bid your manservant close the shutters.
As your lordship pleases. William! William! Pray close the shutters. Yes, all of them. And fetch us some candles.
I pray the counsel you give me this day be wise, sirrah, for I find myself in the most desperate of predicaments.
And the last advice I gave you? That of offering to lead a military campaign to put down the Irish rebellion? I trust it worked to win back the Queen's favour. Indeed, the parade given to send you off was most impressive. I was there. Did you see me? I did wave at you. Nay, I do not imagine you would have seen me. So great were the crowds.
Yes, my offer to lead the campaign was well received by the Queen. But there was a fatal flaw in your advice.
Oh, and this flaw was?
Is it not obvious? I had to verily go to that midge-ridden bog-hole and try to put down the Irish. God's breath! Have you seen the Irish? They are savages. That Irish chieftain O'Neill and his band of fen-born brutes are especially bad.
Forsooth, they sound most fearsome. 'Tis a mercy you escaped with your life, and are now back home safe in England.
Nay, I am not yet safe in England, I fear. For when the Queen finds out that I made a truce with O'Neill, heaven only knows how ill she will take it. Even my leaving Ireland without her permission will doubtless vex her.
Then the Queen has not been informed of your return?
Nay, she knows yet nothing of it. I am at present taking refuge with my sister, the Countess of Devonshire, at her country estate. But I cannot hide there forever. Hence I am come to you this day so that the stars may advise me on how I may extract myself from my current predicament and win back the favour of the Queen.
Then let us see what the stars advise. How might Lord Devereux escape the displeasure of Her Majesty the Queen and regain her favour?
I don't know in what order you're supposed to read these in. Robert Devereux must use his best asset to ward off the Queen's anger, his magnificent body. God will help Devereux if he appeals to the Queen's vanity and exercises patience. Devereux may revive his hopes for a brilliant career. All is not lost. Devereux must contrive a way to make the Queen see his disobedience within the context of their personal relationship rather than an act of disloyalty to the crown. Devereux imperils his legacy with his tendency towards confused optimism. He risks being subject to the violence of the law. May reverse his political situation back to his advantage by having the Queen look upon him as the son she never had. This is the second time that it's been like, oh yeah, just use your body to fix your problems. I mean, you might as well try to get with the queen. Might be your only chance.
Your lordship must not give up hope, for though our queen may have the stomach and heart of a king, she has but the body and mind of a weak and feeble woman. Hence the stars suggest you use your manly physical attributes to resolve this affair.
I see. Use my imposing presence and masculine intelligence to overpower her. Show her who is truly sovereign.
Nay, my lord, quite the reverse. You must appeal to her vanity and captivate her with your bodily charms. Perchance a tighter-fitting doublet would serve to...
God's yardle! You would have me bed the Queen? Doubtless you have never seen Her Majesty at close quarters, Foreman. Elizabeth may be in fine health for an old woman, but she is more advanced in years than my own mother.
I am afeard the stars are most clear on this, my lord.
I see. But how am I to find a moment alone with her? If I make an entrance at court whilst Her Majesty is surrounded by guards and courtiers, I may be arrested on the spot.
Aye, 'twould be most perilous. Hold, I think I have it. My lord, if you were able to insinuate yourself into Whitehall Palace one morning before Her Majesty rises, you could approach the Queen while she is still alone in her bedchamber.
By the saints, 'tis no ill idea. I shall prepare to mount a surprise attack upon the Queen's defences. Huzzah!
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 Godspeed, my Lord Devereux.
This dude is so dead. I've already received his letter of recommendation, though, so... I will not be sorry to leave my sister Penelope's house. Fie upon her. I shall eat as many cherries as I damned well please. Yep.
Praise be to the Lord. The Lord, Archbishop Whitgift, and their binding unto us his eternal grace and favor. Praise be to the Lord, Archbishop Whitgift.
Good day, Your Grace, and well met. Might I inquire whether Your Grace has made a decision regarding whether to give Thomas Blagg the bishopric of Salisbury?
Ah, yes, Dean Blagg. I had my chaplain look into what you told me regarding irregularities in Dean Blagg's stewardship of Rochester Cathedral. Methinks you said he was embezzling coin and pawning cathedral furnishings, did you not? Well, it seems you did speak true.
Oh, indeed?
Of course, I will make nothing of it, as I wish to avoid the scandal. I merely told Dean Blagg that I could not offer him the bishopric due to various episcopal and doctrinal constraints.
Of course. And what problem would Your Grace wish me to address this day?
Oh, 'tis a problem with my other deans. With each passing day there seems to be a new dean at the palace gates, come to petition me for this wretched bishopric of Salisbury. Presently, 'tis Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh. Since he returned from Ireland, he talks of nothing else.
How tiresome for Your Grace.
Indeed. I have told Owen that I am giving his request careful consideration, but in my experience, this only delays a dean for so long. I do have to grant the occasional bishopric, or else my deans become restless.
Doubtless, Your Grace.
But after what I learned about Dean Blagg, I must take care to exercise caution. Hence, I would have you tell me anything you know, that is, anything the stars reveal, about Owen Wood that would render him unsuitable to perform the role of bishop.
Then let us ask the stars. Is there any reason why the Most Reverend John Whitgift, the Archbishop of Canterbury, should not grant Owen Wood the bishopric of Salisbury?
I mean, other than he's cheating on his wife. John Whitgift is impossible to please. John Whitgift should bring Owen Wood's dream of being a bishop to life. Owen Wood is a vain but patient man who has God on his side. While Owen is uncertain about whether he will be offered the bishopric of Salisbury, he remains optimistic. When it comes to his relationships with women, Owen Wood has a creative interpretation of the teachings of the Bible on the sin of adultery. Owen Wood has betrayed his wife. An unexpected problem may arise concerning Owen Wood and some unborn children. Well,
I must advise
we are spilling all of the
granting
tea.
Owen Wood the bishopric, for the stars reveal that he has sinned most grievously.
Ah, verily? Grievously, you say?
I am afeard Dean Wood did commit the sin of adultery.
Ah, nothing else?
'Twas more than once, your grace.
Doubtless, doubtless. While I appreciate your most excellent discernment of this information from the stars, I must own that Dean Wood's extra-clerical activities are already well known to me. Why, even my own wife has had a tumble with the man.
Your grace, I am sorry.
Hold, Sarah. In truth, 'tis of no consequence to me. What occurs in Lambeth Palace bides in Lambeth Palace, as we like to say. But you are right to remind me of Dean Wood's indiscretions, for mayhap it be not wise to elevate Owen to such a public position as bishop. I do have the reputation of the church to consider.
Indeed, your grace.
I will tell Owen that while I had every intention of granting him the bishopric, my hands are now tied due to various episcopal and doctrinal constraints.
Very wise, your grace. And one more matter, if I may. Has your grace yet had the opportunity to consider the granting of my medical license?
Ah, yes, that. Once my chaplain has finished looking into the matter, I shall be giving it careful consideration. Good day.
Ashamed to disappoint Owen, but the church cannot tolerate scandal of this nature. We are not the Catholic Church of Rome.
Since blood left Alice in the lurch, for solution she does search. 'Tis true she's the merit of the church, but blood left Alice in the lurch.
Good day, mistress. What brings you?
I am come about my lover who is lately returned from Ireland.
Ah, yea, and your current lover is, as I recall... Ah, yes, your lover at present is Owen Wood, the Reverend Dean of Armagh, is it not?
Aye.
And according to my notes, you were afeard he might die in battle. And yet you do not appear to be much pleased he's returned alive. Whatever is the matter, madam?
It is being said around the diocese that my lover, Owen Wood, is romantically entangled with 2 other women.
And who might these 2 other women be? Might one of them be his wife, or...?
Of course not. Do not jape with me, Foreman. I did hear that one of the ladies Owen is seeing is Mistress Ways, while the other is a certain Anne Hayborn, with whom I am not yet acquainted. I do hear she is a very young and comely maiden, though mayhap a maiden no longer. I prithee, scribble one of those doodles of yours and tell me if this be true.
Madam, if you will but afford me some silence and calm, I will compose one of my doodles, as you so call my mathematically precise astronomical charts, and endeavour to answer your question. To wit, is Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh, wooing other women?
We already know the answer to that is yes. So, yeah. The answer is probably yes. Owen Wood is to everyone's great surprise, will abandon his wench-chasing ways. Owen Wood is deceiving Alice and wooing other women, but Alice may be optimistic for his relationships with these women are marred by discourse. Owen Wood is conducting numerous romantic affairs. Owen Wood appears to bed sweet, gentle ladies. God is gracing Owenwood with maturity. Owenwood's time in Ireland has given him occasion to reflect intelligently upon the current state of his financial affairs. He has decided to curtail his profligate spending. We're gonna go with once a cheater, always a cheater.
Yes, I am of fear your suspicions are well founded, madam. For the stars do indicate that Dean Wood has been paying court to several other ladies.
Fie! What a maid-fiddling maggot of a man is he! Be I not woman enough for him?
Well,
Aren't
indeed,
sleeping with, like,
my
multiple
chart does
men?
seem to suggest that if he does seek intimacies further afield, 'tis owing to...
Pray, go on. 'Tis owing to what?
to a preference for sweet and gentle companionship of a more feminine nature.
Does he indeed? How very interesting. Nay, verily, fie upon Owen Wood. On my honour, he will very likely want some sweet and gentle treatment once I am finished with him.
Godspeed, Mistress Blagg.
You can't give me negative... This woman, I swear to God. I shall call him a snatch-grabbing dog botherer of the lowest order and a horse-fluffing whoreson, if there be ink for it.
Sing us till the Lord, our Lord, Archbishop, priest gift. Ye priests who have heard scandal and
Thank you so much for the follow, Sarah Monsuki. Welcome, welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay here.
God give you good evening, Your Grace. I trust you were pleased with the previous counsel I gave you? The advice I gave against granting Owen Wood the bishopric of Salisbury.
Ah, yes, your counsel did indeed prove sound, for Dean Wood is now cods deep in scandal. The parish council has received numerous paternity suits, and 'tis said that scores of defiled wenches bethrong the gates of his deanery each morning, clutching suckling babes and demanding recourse. As for young Anne Hayborn, she has had her reputation ruined, and Dean Ways is barely speaking to his wife anymore.
On my word, how disgraceful.
Aye, indeed. If only Owen had the sense to exercise more discretion.
Yes, indeed, Your Grace.
The Bishop of London, for instance, manages his affairs very quietly. I might have been able to look the other way, but in this instance I could not let Owen's indiscretions pass. For a wretched local woman by the name of Mary Payne got wind of the scandal, and...
Yeah, the game has a lot of very nice music and singing throughout. Definitely one of the highlights of this fun little game. Hi, Kit.
Stirred up a public fuss about it. Oh, the devil take the woman and her bacon-faced husband.
If I might venture an opinion, Your Grace, mayhap if we were to pay no heed to Mary Payne and her ilk, they would eventually tire of their animus and leave us all be. But is it upon such problems you come this day, or upon some other matter?
I am come about my health. I believe I do ail of something.
Then pray, describe your complaints to me, Your Grace.
Well, I am afflicted with pain in my back, and at times I find myself hard of breathing. Indeed, I feel I may have phlegm in my chest, and I do bear these odd-looking spots upon my body that will not mend.
If you will permit me to loosen your robes to examine you. I see. Methinks I have a notion of what ails you. Let me confirm it with a reading of the stars. What troubles Archbishop Whitgift?
Back pain, trouble breathing, red spots. John Whitgift is troubled with mattering in the breast. It causes chest pain, which is occasioned by corrupt phlegm, which having gathered in the chest. John Whitgift is afflicted with knobs on the yard, a disease oft associated with the lechery and characterized by wart-like growths on the privy member. Suffering from the French pox, a venereal disease occasioned by laying with a pocky person. It is characterized by sores, short-windedness, and body aches. Well, looks like you have a venereal disease.
Your Grace, I know not how to put this delicately. You have the French pox. I am not sure how this is possible, as you're a man of the cloth. Indeed, mayhap I check the stars again.
No need. I did suspect as much.
Verily? How astute of you. The French pox can oft be difficult to cure, but in your case it is not far advanced. This ointment of boar grease and mercury is to be applied to your entire body. It must be rubbed in vigorously to ensure the mercury is well absorbed into the skin. You may then expect to see the sores on your body start to heal within a matter of days.
I see. And, I imagine your manservant William will be giving me this treatment?
No, Your Grace. The grease is to be taken home with you and applied each night before bed for 9 days. Mayhap your, chaplain could apply it to your Grace's body.
Ah, yes, a fine idea. I thank you for this treatment, sir. Fare you well, Dr. Foreman.
Before you leave, Your Grace, might I inquire again as to the possibility of you granting me a medical license? Your Grace did mention you would give it careful consideration.
Ah, yes, indeed I did I not? Have no fear, Dr. Foreman. My chaplain is looking into it. Good day.
So weird that he will give me a letter of recommendation, but will not give me a medical license. I do believe this doctor and I are beginning to develop something of an understanding.
Here comes Lord Devereux, ready to fight. While
I'm just looking to see if I already have his.
Light and restless he's been up all night. He may not know much, but he knows that he's right. Never
Give ye good morrow, my lord. I trust your lordship is well this day.
Well? God's body! Am I likely to be well? I have been languishing under lock and key while all England goes to ruin.
Yes. I did hear something of your arrest. I take it your encounter with the Queen did not go as well as planned.
Of course it did not. Her Majesty the Queen of England awakening to find a man hovering over her bed like a grinning fool, clutching a bunch of flowers in one hand and a box of sweetmeats in the other? God's death! What is in you? What did you think would come of me sneaking into the Queen's bedchamber?
But you were imprisoned in your York House residence, were you not? The fact that you were placed under house arrest and not imprisoned in the Tower surely speaks to the Queen's fondness for you.
Tell me.
I trust your time in confinement was not uncomfortable, at least.
Well, yes, my time away from the world and its trifling concerns did, in truth, prove useful. It afforded me time to reflect on larger questions, to take stock of my life and put recent events in perspective.
I see. And what resolution did this quiet period of sober reflection bring you? A closer relationship with God? Or perchance you are resolved to spend more time with your family?
What? Nay! I said my mind was turned to larger questions. To wit, am I destined for greater things? Am I chosen by God to rule a kingdom? For I must needs act. The realm is under threat from within. For why was I verily imprisoned? Was it merely to punish me for some trifling mistakes I made in Ireland? Nay, 'twas to separate me from the Queen.
Well, I imagine after discovering you in Her Majesty's bedchamber...
Do you not yet see? The Privy Council means to keep me away from Whitehall, lest I see how they have contrived to control and manipulate the Queen since I left for Ireland.
My lord! Are you saying the Queen is weak and no longer in control of her reign?
Aye, indeed. Something must be done about it. Well, man, do not just stand there.
Yes, of course, my lord. Let us see whether the stars may give you your answer. Is Robert Lord Devereux, Earl of Essex, destined to, rule England?
Well, probably not. Devereux should use his substantial wealth to cleverly ensure cooperation with his plans. In short, he should engage in bribery. Is a strong authority figure. The Queen's failure to produce an heir will have violent consequences. Devereux suffers from geopolitical ignorance. A foreign sovereign is destined to rule England. Is deluded about his legacy. Ooh. If Devereux does not rein in his ambitions, he will die. Would do well to limit the influence of his friend's advice upon him. Is secretly motivated by his feelings about the Queen and how he has been treated by her. You need to be careful, because if you keep doing this, you're going to die.
My lord, I must urge you to temper your ambitions. The stars warn that if your lordship keeps to your current course, it will lead to death.
Whose death, though? You mean my death? God's underlumps!
And England may not be in so much danger as you imagine. The stars suggest that King James of Scotland will succeed to the English throne when Queen Elizabeth dies. He is, after all, her nearest royal relative.
James Stuart, eh? During my imprisonment, I wrote to him to request his aid, but I never received a reply. Doubtless he is in league with the Privy Council. Nay, verily, a pox on the Scottish king and his pretensions to the throne. He would bring his full coterie of kilted savages down and install them in Whitehall Palace, where he would doubtless have us all eating porridge for supper.
I do hear that porridge is a healthsome...
I appreciate your concern for my own safety, sirrah, but my duty lies with the realm and the safety of its people. If I must die, let it be for the sake of England, for God, Queen, and country.
I did my duty for Queen and country. My claim to the throne may not be as strong as Stuart's or the Lennoxes, the Greys, or the Yorks, but a pox on all their houses. God has chosen me. Uh-oh.
Almighty God, redeem thy servant Sabbath track for thy eternal grace and mercy. Is not shed by his wife.
Good day, Dean Blag. How now, good sir? I see you do ale of something.
I do ale of something, foreman. Forsooth, I fear I am very ill indeed, for I tremble day and night with fever, and my face does itch and prick with pain.
Verily. You do exhibit upon your nose and cheeks a rash of a most remarkable hue.
Before you do this reading for me, foreman, I must have your word that you will not speak of this to my wife, Alice. In truth, I have had her believe that I was set upon by an angry swarm of wasps that have lately been nesting in the north transept of the cathedral.
I do understand. A kind husband would naturally wish to shield his wife from any undue distress.
Yea, that of course. And there be also the small matter of the promise I did make to restore the Blag family fortune before I died, and thus not leave my wife and children to live in penury when I am gone. If Mistress Blag were to think that I am gravely ill, it would provoke some awkwardness between us that I would rather wish to avoid.
I take it then that your finances are also in poor health.
Alas, they are. For as you accurately predicted, the Archbishop never did grant me the bishopric of Salisbury. It would seem his grace is content for me to remain in my current state of penury.
I see. Well, As to your wife, Alice, be not afeard, sir. We doctors take querent confidentiality most seriously. As Hippocrates did
totally.
say, testa Apollinum medicum secreta, among other things. Now, mayhap we proceed to consult the stars on the matter of your condition. With what disease is my querent Thomas Blagg troubled, and how may he be cured?
Absolutely. Patient confidentiality is something we absolutely practice here, for sure. Blogg suffers from erysipelas, a severe skin disease of the face that is accompanied with pain and fever. It's trouble with evil digestion caused by overconsumption of strong drink. Suffers from a bone shaw, being a knob-like growth rising on the skin. I'm assuming it's the first one because it's got all of their...
It would seem you are troubled with a severe disease of the skin known as erysipelas. It is quite serious, though you may find some temporary relief from the pain and fever by vigorously purging from your fundament. To induce such a thing, I do advise the consumption of a considerable quantity of prunes, or mayhap rhubarb. Of course, it does depend on the season.
Erysipelas? Prunes? Oh, merciful Lord, if it be thy will that I should die, and if thou hast writ these mortal signs upon the stars, I beseech thee, have thy servant Simon Foreman speak the truth.
Prithee, sir, I had not finished. Oh, my dear friend, I will not lie to you. Your condition is quite advanced. In truth, I fear you must prepare for the worst. If you will not share this grave news with Mistress Blagg, perchance you might speak to her from the safety of, from beyond the grave? That is to say, write her a letter that may be read to her after you're gone. Your loving words, though thus delayed, may provide her comfort in her time of grief and destitution.
God bless you for your candour, sir, as well your wisdom and friendship these last years. I will now go and pray upon what you have told me.
I feel bad for him, even though he's a lying cheater who stole money from the church. May the Lord God absolve me of my sins, for I fear my wife Alice will not.
An explorer's wife cannot share his life. She is left alone, she is left alone. Was his at sea in a way so she? Good at home.
Good day, Mistress Fortescue. How may I help you this day? You seem a little out of breath.
Aye, 'tis but my bodice. My maidservant did lace it far too tightly. Methinks she is a trifle vexed with me. Indeed, the atmosphere in the Fortescue household is exceeding ill at present.
Verily? And why is that?
Someone has been stealing food from the larder in the night. This morning, 3 whole swan pies were missing. Each member of the Fortescue household suspects another.
And whom do you think is the author of these thefts, madam?
Well, I suspect my son Harold, as his fondness for pie is well known. But Harry denies it and has accused our maidservant Gladys. And 'tis true that Gladys has become suspiciously wide about the girth of late. And as for Gladys, well, she is convinced the culprit is our African parrot, Sir Muncelot Grey. But Sir Muncelot has denied the accusation and blames my monkey.
Ah, and who does your monkey blame?
How now, Dr. Foreman? Be not absurd. Monkeys cannot speak.
Ah, yes. Then 'tis fortunate that God can. Speak to us, that is, by way of the stars. Who in the Fortescue household has been sneaking into the larder at night to steal pies?
Where am I with this? Okay, I already have her recommendation, unfortunately. So I need to get Lancelot Moore's and Emma's, and then I think I have all 8. they ever come to see me again. So I can just tell her whatever, it doesn't matter. Sybil Fortescue is a hypocrite. She needs to turn her finger of accusation on herself, for she ate all of the pies. Sybil's family and friends have exercised constraint and discipline in relation to the pies. Sybil's intuition about the identity of the pie thief is wrong. The solution to this mystery is counterintuitive. The thief is the one suspect who has maintained their silence. The Fortescue children have been raised well. They know not to steal pies. Mistress Fortescue's maidservant is untrustworthy and aggressive. Fortescue is advised to make changes to her will. She must cut her maidservant out of it. Evil from a foreign country is indicated here. Let's go with B.
Madam, you may eliminate your son from your inquiries, for according to the stars, you have educated him well, and he knows not to steal pies.
Harry is innocent, is he? Then who has been eating our pies?
I am afeard it is the very last individual you would suspect. An individual who is in this very room with us now.
How now, Dr. Foreman? Surely you would not accuse me?
Oh, nay, not you, madam. 'Tis your monkey. What was his name again?
You mean to say Sir Nanahad has been stealing our pies? Oh, my days! What a naughty monkey!
Quite. He is most naughty indeed, 'twould seem.
Hello, Yumiko. How are you today? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
I must at once to home go and apologise to Sir Munchalot. I never should have doubted him. God give you good even, Dr. Foreman. You have been a bad boy, have you not, Sir Nanahad? Who's a naughty monkey? Yes, you're the naughty monkey. Yes, you're the naughty monkey.
Good even, Mistress Fortescue.
Well, nothing wrong with sleeping in a little on a Sunday. In that case, I wonder what it is that is making Gladys so fat. Oh, rude.
Humphrey Bell, to play our leading Jane. You must pay the price of looking thin and nice. Drink all your fears, your guilt, and shame, lest you be judged and we accord you blame.
Good even, Mr. Bell. What brings you so late this evening, young sir? Have you come from the playhouse?
Yea, I'm come from playing a Duchess in a special performance of Richard II. You know, that play that makes the Queen look bad.
So, Mr. Shakespeare decided to revive his play, did he? I see.
I need you to tell me what to do about my pay. Our seamstress told me she heard Mistress Burbage discoursing how John Crisp is getting paid a full shilling for each performance.
And you feel this is unfair, I take it? I gather Mr. Crisp's pay is greater than yours.
Aye, sir. 'Tis full twice as much coin as they pay me. What I get is barely enough to cover my rent. And my parts are well bigger than his, innit?
And you can fathom no reason for this disparity in pay? He is more experienced, perchance.
What? I've been on the stage since I was a boy, and John's been playing for less than a year. Nay, sir. Mr. Burbage and them other company sharers are paying me less on account of how I'm doing the lady parts.
You mean to say you are being paid less simply because you perform lady roles?
Indeed. John only gets them main parts because he's big and tall, but I'm well better than he is. Critics call my Ophelia the most tantalisingly nubile and tragical performance since Henry Condell's Juliet.
Ah, yes. Having seen Hamlet, I would have to agree with them there. I must own that I, too, found your Ophelia most comely and alluring. Now, let's see what the stars advise. What can be done about you being paid less than players of masculine roles?
The social commentary is suffocating. Humphrey should wait, pay equity will come in time, and solve his problems by using his romantic allure to seduce a woman. Should continue to perform his duties and remain quiet about the discrepancy in pay. Must uncover the truth about his colleagues are paid, are allowing Humphrey's employers to behave hypocritically. Humphrey's employers are shrewd businessmen. Humphrey's boss will do evil to others if it means safeguarding his legacy. Humphrey's boss's wife is pregnant with a masculine child. His boss can therefore not be trusted. We'll go with B, because that makes the most sense, I think.
According to the stars, your employers, the Lord Chamberlain's men, are very wise businessmen.
How do you reckon that? On account of them contriving to pay me less than I deserve?
Precisely so, Mr. Bell. And being so wise, they doubtless deter their hired men from discoursing upon the coin they receive for their labour, perchance to the extent where the men harbour such feelings of shame and suspicion about it, they would more readily show each other their privy parts before they would show their pay.
Aye, 'tis true enough. We oft pull our yardles out when we're jesting about and that. But as for a man's pay, forsooth, 'tis considered most private.
Well, such prudery must end if you and your fellow players are to advance your interests, Mr. Bell.
Unionize.
Indeed. Methinks that if you were all to begin freely discoursing upon these matters, you will find you are not the only player being paid unjustly. If you do decide to demand more coin from your employers, I advise you to unify with the other hired men and speak as one voice.
Zah! We shall unify and demand them company sharers pay us equal coin for equal playing.
Good luck, mate. I wonder where he got this notion of unifying from. Dr. Foreman is well ahead of his time, isn't it?
Hear ye, hear ye! Earl of Essex, foiled in Queen, kidnap, attempt, shocker! Biggest treason fail since Babington plot! Hear ye!
Robert Devereux, Earl of Essex, has been arrested for plotting to kidnap the Queen and install himself as the protector of the realm. Devereux is reported to have bribed a company of players to stage a revival of William Shakespeare's King Richard II. At this play invites treasonous comparison between the weak and incompetent King Richard and our present sovereign Queen Elizabeth. It was Devereux's intention to use it use it to rouse an angry mob and lead them to the gates of Kensington Palace. Failing to muster sufficient support from the London populace, however, Devereux was compelled to return home to Essex House, where he was arrested.
Alice Black, she is a wife. 'Tis one way to live a life, oft with misfortune and with strife, especially if you be Black's wife.
Yeah, there's probably no chance I get her. Whatever.
Good day, Mistress Blagg. Pray tell, how did things fare with your gentleman friend, Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh?
Alas, 'tis all over betwixt me and Dean Wood. I did ask him for a small loan, and he was most insulting about it. We have not spoken since. And I think I know why his ardour for me has cooled, for I did lately learn that he has been bedding half the women in the diocese.
Ah, yes. I too did lately hear of this.
So it seems your stars were right. There verily were other women vying for Dean Wood's affections. But this day I am come about my husband. Methinks he is ill, yet he pretends he is not.
Ah, pray describe his symptoms to me.
Well, yesterday I did remark that something was amiss when Molly McDoon and I returned from the playhouse. Well, there was a special performance of Richard II at the Globe. Know you of it? Oh, 'tis the play that makes the Queen look bad.
Aye, I know of it.
When I came in the door, there was an awful racket coming from our upstairs rooms. I went to see what the matter was and found my husband tucked up abed, moaning and wailing, and with a monstrous rash all over his face. He told me some nonsense about having been stung by wasps, and that he is merely tired. But I do not believe him.
I see.
I bid you, Foreman, tell me true, for I grow ill with worry. Is it grave? Blagg had better not think of dying on me afore he has paid his debts.
Ah, for as his widow, by law, you would inherit them, would you not? But mayhap there is little to worry about. Let us consult the stars and see. What ails Thomas Blagg, the Dean of Rochester?
Well, we've been a snitch this whole time, so let's continue to be a snitch.
Alas, I am afeard your husband is ill with a disease known as erysipelas. He is in grave danger. Indeed, his case is advanced and beyond treatment. There is nothing to be done now but prepare yourself for his death, Mistress Blagg. Madam? Alice? Come, Alice, I will find you a chair.
Nay, I must not tarry. I am meeting Mistress McDoon at the Bear for a quiet one. Good day, Foreman.
But Alice...
Dot, dot, dot.
Hear ye, hear ye! Traitor loses head after losing mind. Earl of Essex gets the chop for treason. Hear ye!
Uh-oh. On this day, the 25th day of February in the year of our Lord, 1601, Robert Devereux, Earl of Essex, was executed for treason. The execution follows yesterday's trial at which he was found guilty of leading a failed plot against the realm. Formerly a favorite of both Her Majesty and the London public, the Earl's surprising betrayal of both Queen and country has shocked the nation.
If you try to argue with her, you will have no luck. She'll twist and turn your logic till your reason comes unstuck. Chastise Mary who you like, she will not give up. Will not give up.
Yeah, no chance of getting her eliminated.
Well met, Mistress Payne. How fare you this day?
Probably.
Most well indeed, sir, for I am just come from taking my niece on an outing to Tower Hill. 'Twas to see the execution of the traitor Robert Devereux.
Ah, yes, Lord Devereux. What a tragic end to a promising career.
And such a lovely beheading they gave us. My niece and I very much enjoy the hangings at Tyburn, but a beheading is so much more elegant, is it not? Verily, 'tis a better class of execution, I find, and the royal executioner did go down on Devereux with such skill. A single stroke was all it took to give us the traitor's head.
Aye, 'tis true the royal executioner gives excellent...
But I have no time to tarry here and gossip with you, Dr. Foreman. I am come on a matter of great concern, and you are just the man to help, methinks. For your prediction that Elizabeth's reign would endure was true. Whilst the Queen does have the appearance of being naught but a painted corpse propped up on a throne using artfully placed cushions, she is, in lore at least, still alive. Praised be!
Ah, indeed. Praised be. And what is this new matter that concerns you?
'Tis that England is filling up with foreigners. Indeed, 'tis been going on for so many years now that in London 'tis rare to hear anyone discoursing in the English tongue any more. The city is crawling with continentals.
Ah, then I take it you do not enjoy your visit to the City of London.
Oh, nay, I have never been to London. For as I did just say, 'tis crawling with continentals, and Lambeth will soon suffer the same fate if we do not act. Why, only the other day I spied a continental on the high street. A monstrous ogre of a man he was. And as for his face, his eyelashes were so fair he had the appearance of having none at all.
Ah, yes, the Netherlanders. 'Tis true the people of the Netherlands can be fair of hair and tall of stature.
And 'tis surely no coincidence that Lambeth has suffered an increase in crime of late. We do not feel safe, Dr. Foreman. Every night we ladies of Fore Street do shiver in our beds at the thought of these frighteningly large men.
I do not doubt it, madam. Now, let us see whether the stars might allay or confirm your fears. Should the residents of Lambeth be concerned about an influx of continentals?
Some Continentals are lying about why they are in Lambeth. If they have come here to rob Lambeth residents of our household possessions, we must not be deceived. Lambeth residents' relationship with the Continental immigrants is in danger of turning violent. Our duty lies with our domestic concerns, which should take priority. That's probably what she wants to hear. Our queen has been waging war on the continent. Unpleasantness in the name of religion has caused death and destruction. The residents of Lambeth are being somewhat hypocritical. The stars advise countering this hypocrisy. Continental immigration will enrich England's legacy with culture and innovation. Youths who have lost their sense of discipline are involved. I mean, she does seem like a traditionalist, so fuck it, let's go with this. We're not getting her letter anyway.
Madam, I may assure you that if there be a rise in criminality, the Continentals are not to blame.
Then who is to blame?
May I suggest the youth of this day? The youth of this day are customarily blamed for social ills, and in this instance it would seem justified, at least according to the stars. As for the Continentals, it appears that elements of their culture and expertise may one day serve to enrich ours. Consider, for example, the additional dining options they have brought with them to England. Indeed, do we English not tire of our dreary custards and dull mutton roasts?
Well, in truth, I am a little partial to their... What are those puffy pancake things with the crisscrosses on them?
Waffles, I believe.
Aye, I will own I am partial to those Netherlander waffles. But pish, Dr. Foreman, you learned men and fancy folk may discourse all you like about having your dinner tables enlivened with foreign cookery, but who is it that suffers when desperate Continentals go a-robbing our houses and a-troubling our women? 'Tis us ordinary folk, 'tis who. I will have my husband write to Lambeth Palace and tell the Archbishop we will have no more of these Continentals in Lambeth. Blessed day, Dr. Foreman.
I wonder when Mr. Payne will be getting home from the butcher's. I could do with a lovely big bit of gammon this even.
Hear ye, hear ye! Dean of Rochester Cathedral dies. New Dean pledges to refurnish empty cathedral. Hear ye!
Local residents were saddened this day by the tidings of the death of Thomas Blogg, Dean of Rochester Cathedral. He leaves behind a wife, Alice Blogg, and children John, Thomas, Cornwallis, Edmund, Nicholas, and Francis. Wow, the two of them got on.
Humphrey Bell, at his reward, for it is not enough to be my father, Lord. For you we sigh, we true, and swoon, when we see you entering the room.
Good day, Mr. Bell, and well met. I recall you were hoping for a pay rise. How did that go?
Well, I got a pay rise, innit? I took your advice about banding together with the other hired men and gabbing about how much coin we was getting. Turns out, another one of the lads weren't getting paid enough for his lady parts neither. So, we all refused to do our rehearsals until the boss man fixed it.
Well done, Mr. Bell. I must say I am most proud of you.
But this day, I am come about my skin. She's so clapped, I need twice as much ceruse as normal.
Ah, yes, Venetian ceruse, the white lead and vinegar paste ladies and players use to whiten their faces.
You have to fix it for me, Doctor, for my role in Mr. Shakespeare's new play. I'm to play a lady who disguises herself as a lawyer.
A lady cunningly disguised as a lawyer? Forsooth, how original. But I see not why you need worry over your complexion. Having a sound grasp of Latin and a talent for eloquence are the usual qualifications of a legal advocate, are they not? Is it verily necessary for this lawyer to have beauty as well?
Well, Mr. Burbage seems to think so.
These are enlightened times, and we must have confidence in our audience that they will accept, even welcome, the notion of a lady of learning, as long as she be lovely enough to lie with.
I see. And 'tis true your skin is looking a little less than lovely at present. Let us see if we may find a remedy for it in the stars. What is the matter with Humphrey Bell's face, and what may be done to improve its appearance?
Suffers from melancholy, a condition that can make the skin appear pale in appearance and induce fanciful imaginings in the mind. Distemperament of the liver, occasioned by some kind of poison. Is troubled with ugliness. Well, he's not ugly, and I don't think he's melancholy, so we're gonna go with distemperament of the liver.
The stars indicate that your skin troubles are occasioned by the ceruse paste you're applying to your face. The lead it contains is causing your scabs and, if I am not mistaken, some thinning in your hair. But these are merely indications of a greater trouble it is causing, a distemperature of the liver. You must no longer apply lead to your face, Mr. Bell.
What you mean, like, 'tis poisonous or something?
Oh, nay, lead is not poisonous. You merely seem to have a sensitivity to it, is all. I will write you up a prescription to take to an apothecary. He will concoct you a paste from alum, tin ash, and sulphur as a replacement for the ceruse you have been using. And to hide the damage to your skin, you might apply the white of a raw egg to your face. 'Twill act as a kind of glaze over your complexion.
So all this will fix my face, yeah? Zow! I thank you kindly, Dr. Foreman.
Yeah, lead's not poisonous. I shall be the best man playing at being a woman playing at being a lawyer Mr. Burbage could ever ask for.
Mr. Foreman, doubtless I need not explain why you have been brought before the College of Physicians this day.
Oh, please don't ask me
We have
questions.
been informed that you persist in practicing medicine without a license, in defiance of the law and in spite of previous warnings given you by myself and my distinguished colleagues. How do you answer this charge? Well, what do you have to say for yourself, Sirrah?
I say that I am a good doctor, and that my many years of experience have allowed me to perfect my methods as a true physician.
You would dare speak of your methods, Mr. Foreman? We are informed that you write your patients' names and complaints in a notebook, doubtless all the better to blackmail them with.
Ah, yes, my case books. Indeed, sir, 'tis most useful to be able to remember a querent's history.
Furthermore, you use astrological readings not simply to predict the course of an illness or judge the best time for a treatment, as good medicine teaches us, but you find the cause of the disease in the stars. You refuse to examine your patient's urine for this purpose.
Well, yes,
And you would dare claim that in these past years you have gained medical knowledge and skill from mere experience? Then I invite you to provide proof of it now. You will submit to an examination.
No, please. Shit. Saturn. I don't know. Phlegm. Someone with an excess of black bile may exhibit melancholic? Which planet rules intelligence? I don't know. Which zodiac rules the head? Cancer?
Silence! Simon Foreman, you have failed this examination, and thereby have proved yourself unfit to practice medicine. Remove this charlatan, this carnival quack from my sight!
What, again? I demand to speak with my legal counsel. You will regret this!
Uh-oh. Sir, it was with shock and distress that I did learn of your current situation, but worry not, Dr. Foreman, for you will be freed from jail this very day. I bade my husband, Lord Dear, exert his influence on your behalf, but I must warn you that the College of Physicians cannot be obstructed for long, and that you verily ought to procure a medical license. Your current and most assured friend, Lady Emma Dyer. Thank you, Miss Emma.
Life has brought her very low. Mayhap there be some solution, though. Read the stars and we shall know.
Well met, Alice, dear friend. Since your husband's death, I have oft thought of you. Fare you well?
Oh, Foreman, I am sorry for not coming to see you sooner, for I was grateful for your warning about Blag's illness. It gave me the sense to bide with him in his final hours. It was only then that I did realize how much I did love the old fool. Despite his mump-headed nature and his leaving me and the children with not a penny between us. But the day after he passed, I came upon a note he had writ for me. I warrant that was your idea, was it, Foreman?
It may have been.
Then I thank ye for it, Simon. For 'twas a comfort to be left something to remember him by, even if it be the only thing he did leave me. But things are better since I did become Mistress Macy.
Then you have remarried?
Aye. 'Twas the only means of putting a roof over our heads and meat in our bellies. And Mr. Macy is a kind man. Oh, but Foreman, we may not have our roof much longer. Macy has threatened to leave me.
The brute!
Well, to be fair, I suppose I did fail to apprise him of the full extent of Blog's debts, which are, as you know, not inconsiderable. But what am I to do about it now?
Ah, yes, of course. By marrying you, he is now responsible for the debts of your late husband, according to the law. In sooth, 'tis a high price to pay for a wife. No matter the marital bliss, her bountiful charms and fine qualities do doubtless afford him.
Oh, save it for another day, Foreman. 'Tis not your chub-brained flattery I am come for. 'Tis your counsel.
Then let us see if the stars may offer a solution. How may Alice Macy prevent her husband petitioning for a divorce?
Mr. Macy feels nervous about being burdened with Thomas Block's debts and angry towards Alice as a result. A family trip might turn things around. God is punishing the deceased Thomas Block for visiting the evil sins of the father upon his widow and children. Block's legacy is the debts he has burdened his widow with. Alice must be realistic and temper her hopes. No, go on a family trip. It'll be great.
Alas, you have little hope of calming your new husband's feelings about your late husband's debts. But the stars suggest that your family might go abroad, and thus put yourself out of the reach of Blag's creditors. You must do this without delay.
Go abroad? You mean where foreigners live?
Aye. My chart also suggests that you find some creative solution to ensure your husband's cooperation in such a project. Has he ever expressed an interest in the New World colonies? Or perchance you might suggest an extended tour of Roman antiquities?
Nay, but I will put my mind to it. But if we do go abroad, this is doubtless the last time I shall ever see you, Foreman.
Coitus post consultatio. How many people have we slept with? Letter of recommendation. Come on, Alice, you can do it. Macy was chump-headed enough to marry you, so mayhaps he'll go abroad with you as well.
Hear ye, hear ye. Nation mourns death of beloved Queen. King James of Scotland ticked to succeed to the English throne. Hear ye.
All England is in mourning as news spreads of the death of our beloved sovereign, Queen Elizabeth Tudor, oft referred to as Good Queen Bess by her subjects, expired of natural causes on this day, the 24th day of March, the year of our Lord 1603. Although Her Majesty left no heir nor named a successor, her cousin and nearest blood relation, 57-year-old King James Stuart, King of Scotland, is rumored to be traveling down from Edinburgh to be crowned King of England later this week.
Humphrey Bell, you must not take so ill, for your beauty does fade. We do adore you still. Our eyes so wide, our thoughts so unrefined, at the sight of your shapely behind.
Why are the singing narrators so horny?
Good day, Mr. Bell. Oh, I must congratulate you on your performance of the comely lady lawyer in The Merchant of Venice, and methinks your skin is much improved. 'Tis verily glowing.
Aye, Dr. Foreman, changing my lead paste for sulphur worked very well. Mistress Burbage says I now look a picture of beauty.
Did she now? Forsooth, 'tis well to hear the troubles with your skin are resolved. Now, what is it you come for this day?
Mr. Shakespeare has written a new play, and I need to look younger if I'm to get a good part in it. 'Tis about an ancient Roman general called Titus Andronicus. I wish to play the role of his comely mother, the Lady Tamara.
You need to look younger in order to play a man's mother, you say. But according to my casebook, why, sir, you are not yet 25 years of age.
Aye, sir, indeed. 'Tis but the business of playing, though, innit? At least, according to Mr. Burbage, he was well vexed when I pointed out how the man played Titus is near as old as I am.
If the stage is not to your liking, Mr. Bell, I invite you to seek employment elsewhere.
All right, then. Let us see what the stars advise. What can be done to make my querent Humphrey Bell appear younger?
Humphrey must undergo a transformation to repair the damage Time's legacy has wrought. Good angels have bestowed upon Humphrey the talent of artistry, which he can use to improve the appearance of his face. This advises that something refined has been obtained from a foreign country can help him appear younger, but there is cruelty involved. Cruelty to animals. It is God's will that Humphrey embraces his masculinity as he matures. Humphrey is out of touch with reality. He cannot reverse the aging process and look younger. Humphrey's bosses are impossible to please, and Humphrey would be pessimistic about his ability to reverse the... Should be pessimistic about. Do we be honest with him that he's not getting any younger? But I think it'll help him in the long run. So they might get mad at me now, but I think it'll be better. And also, we're not picking the cruelty to animal option. And he also shouldn't undergo surgery in 1600s England. He will probably be fucked up beyond repair. So we're gonna be brutally honest.
What you ask is quite impossible, Mr. Bell. You wish for time to pass, so that you may gain experience and become a better player, do you not? And yet, paradoxically, you ask that time be suspended, so that you may remain young and comely enough to play these roles you have spent years training for. To wit, you aspire to be a domina perfectus.
What?
A perfect woman, sir. But have you not considered the option available to you? That of being a homo mediocris?
What now?
A mediocre man. In the guise of a mediocre man, you would doubtless excel. Indeed, for every lady role in Mr. Shakespeare's plays, are there not roles for 20 men? And to be sure, growing older would not shorten your career. For a man can play all kinds of roles at almost any age. Hero, lover, grandfather, oft all at the same time.
But how am I to convince Mr. Shakespeare and the other sharers to start giving me man parts?
Have the company begin seeing you as a man, Mr. Bell. Grow yourself a beard and break wind with abandon. Fill the hours you save on beauty treatments by joining your fellow players on outings to bear-baiting pits and alehouses.
I will not let you down, Dr. Foreman. I will make myself so manly, Mr. Shakespeare will be begging me to take his man parts.
Freezing. Okay, he took the news better. Okay, that bear baiting though. I ain't gonna watch some poor old bear get attacked by a bunch of dogs, isn't it? I agree.
For dinners and parties,
I haven't seen... I've literally been waiting for Lancelot and Emma to show back up for ages. Am I finished with... No, I've got one more case with him. So, and Emma? I have 2 more. I need them to show up. I need to get one of their recommendation letters. And then I'll have 8.
Good morrow, Mistress Fortescue. How may I do you, sir?
Oh, Dr. Foreman, I have urgent need of your advice. Oh, woe! I know not what I am to do.
On my word, madam, I have never before seen you in such a state. Pray tell, whatever can the matter be?
'Tis my husband, Captain Fortescue. God mend me! He has been implicated in a conspiracy to commit treason.
Ah, yes, your husband, Captain Henry Fortescue. He is a great friend of Sir Walter Raleigh, is he not? Oh, Methinks I see your problem. For Raleigh has been implicated in a plot against our new king, has he not? 'Tis said the plotters wished to oust the king and install the king's cousin on the throne. Or was Raleigh involved in that other plot? The one to kidnap the king and force him to appoint a more religiously tolerant privy council. In truth, there are so many plots against the English throne these days, 'tis hard to keep abreast of them all.
Indeed, I know not which plot Sir Walter was arrested for, but I have heard tell that the Privy Council seeks to find conspirators amongst his associates. Hence I have been hiding my husband in our cellar and pretending he's still away at sea.
But why would your husband fear arrest? Was he involved in Sir Walter Raleigh's plot?
Nay, he was not. But all London believes that he and Sir Walter are very great friends.
Ah, yes, I see. But what of your own friends, Mistress Fortescue? All those lords, ladies, and bishops who have so oft graced your table, would they not speak in your husband's defence?
Well, dear Emma says she will speak for my husband, but alas, she now has little influence at court on account of some scandals of her own. As for my other acquaintances, they have all disowned me. They decline my invitations, and no one is at home to me when I call upon them. Even Sir Munchelot has stopped speaking to me.
Even your parrot, madam? On my word, that is very cold.
I beseech you, sir, read the stars and tell me how I might save my husband from arrest. Pray assure me he will be safe.
Let us see, then. Is Captain Henry Fortescue in danger of being arrested for treason? If so, what might Mistress Fortescue do to prevent it?
Sybil Fortescue is deluded and has lost touch with reality. God will punish Captain Fortescue violently for his part in the conspiracy. The Fortescue family's reputation is dead. They will go down in history as traitors. The king will soon be waging a violent war in a foreign country, thus distracting him from hunting for Raleigh's co-conspirators. Mistress Fortescue may be optimistic about her husband's fate, for the plot against the king will soon be taken far less seriously than it is now. Despite what she may think, Sybil Fortescue can still use her social authority and influential relationships to aid her husband. The intelligent course is for Sybil to keep her distress a secret from the world and behave as if she has nothing to fear. I think I'm gonna go with B, because they were saying, oh, there are so many plots against the king and things like that, that there's probably going to be another war. I'm not a history person, so I don't know if there were a lot of wars going on at this time. But maybe there were.
Be not so afeard, madam, for the stars show cause for optimism. Whilst your family's situation is grave at present, it will not remain so for long.
Oh, my days, Dr. Foreman! You cannot imagine how well it is to hear your words.
Indeed, given enough time, this plot against the king will be remembered as but a trifling affair. Even King James himself will soon be jesting of it. He will remark, remember you the time Sir Walter Raleigh and his friends tried to snatch away my crown and give it to my cousin? Such japes!
Dr. Foreman, I do not think that can be right.
I assure you it is, madam, for the king will soon be engaging England in a bloody foreign war so all-consuming that mere domestic political machinations will seem trifling in comparison.
On my honour, I truly do wish I could believe what you say, but 'tis well known that King James favours peace and does not intend to engage England in more wars.
Oops.
Verily?
Yes, verily. Such matters of state have oft been discussed at my table. I must own, Dr. Foreman, that your false assurances do give me no comfort. No comfort at all, Dr. Foreman. Methinks I shall to Whitehall go and throw myself upon the mercy of the king.
Good luck with that. I already got your letter of recommendation, so. Perchance, if I were to sell my jewels, I could have enough coin to bribe a lord of the Privy Council. Alright, gotta get this one right.
you 'tis. Come down, resign your fears, your time. You're just too old to earn a living wage.
Good day to you, young sir. May I say, your playing of Titus Andronicus's comely mother was excellent. Well, a wondrous performance, Mr. Bell.
Aye, well, I did ask for a man's part, like you told me, but boss man just winked at me and said he'd consider it, but only if I convince Mistress Burbage I'm a man first.
Forsooth, how strange. I wonder what he meant by that.
I know what he means though, innit? Mistress Burbage wants to move to me and Mr. Burbage knows all about it.
On my word! But surely, Mr. Bell, if Mistress Burbage's attentions occasion you discomfort, you have merely to tell her so. Make it plain you wish your relationship to remain professional and bid her abstain from any amorous advances.
You what? Nay, sir. If I air her, she'll be vexed and I could lose my job. Know you what I mean?
Ah, I see, yes. If she were to take umbrage, she might use her influence over her husband to prevent you from getting work. Well, I do have a recipe for a very effective aphrodisiac. Nay? Then let us see what the stars advise. How might Humphrey Bell calm the ardour of Mistress Burbage without it costing him his career?
Oh boy, this is a tough one. Well, at least I only have 2 options. Has choleric temperament when it comes to affairs of the heart. She prefers to be the one in charge. Has a trouble with the habit of indulging the lustful passions. Oh god. So, I'm trying to remember all that I've learned about the mistress during these conversations. And whether she was like super... blah, blah, blah. God, I can't remember anything about Mistress Burbage because they never used first names. So it's really just a coin flip for me. So I guess we'll go with Scorpio, ruler of the reproductive system. Let's go.
It would seem Mistress Burbage's behaviour can be attributed to her excessive sanguinity. To wit, there is an imbalance of blood in her body. It compels her towards an indulgence in lustful passions.
What do you mean, like? She's ill or something? Her grabbing me backstage and trying to beg me, 'tis an imbalance of blood making her do all that. So, how do I help her fix her problem then?
Her problem? Oh nay, Mistress Burbage is not ill. Forsooth, indulging in her lustful passions is a most healthsome pursuit, which doubtless brings her much pleasure. Indeed, the only person who has a problem with her lustful activities is you.
You what?
Perchance you could find a means of adding cooling and drying foods to the lady's diet to counteract the fiery moistness of her sanguinity. I suggest myrtle berries, lettuce, and mallows.
Methinks I can add them plants to the morning potage she takes during rehearsal, and if that don't make her move from me, I might start adding poison in it.
I don't know about that, but... Next time Mistress Burbage strokes the fire and tells me to take off her doublet, I'll tell her men's not hot, isn't it?
Hear ye, hear ye! Raleigh's ally, Henry Fortescue, arrested for treason! Hear ye!
Uh-oh. In a raid on his house early this morning, Captain Henry Fortescue was arrested for his part in a plot against the king. Neighbors report that he had been hiding in his basement to escape punishment. His wife, Sybil Fortescue, formerly much renowned in the royal court circles for her dinner parties, has vowed to fight on to prove her husband's innocent and win his freedom. Sources say she had better get on with it, for if he is convicted at his trial this evening, he will be executed tomorrow morning.
Lancelot Moore is doubtless a fool, yet men of his class are destined to rule. They tell us 'tis but the order of things, as is the divine right of kings.
Oh, he's finally here. Got one more chance. Depending on what advice I gave him last
Good
time.
evening, Mr. Moore. How may I do you service?
I have a mind to take up a profession and would have your counsel on it. For I must say, your advice thus far has been most excellent. Counselling me not to marry that sly succubus Emma Dyer did veritably save my life. Indeed, I have heard it rumoured that her husbands have a lamentable habit of dying, if you follow my meaning.
Mm-hmm.
In short, their deaths are most unnatural and not at all accidental. Do you understand what I'm telling you, Foreman?
Aye, I do, Mr. Moore.
I've been
Pray
helping
afford me
her.
a moment to recover from the excess of shock and surprise I do feel upon being told of the lady's true nature. Now, you say you wish to take up a profession. 'Tis a military career you're considering, I presume? You wish to distinguish yourself in battle?
Nay, 'tis a career in the church. I have a mind to take holy orders.
You wish to become a clergyman? Pray tell, how came you by this notion?
'Twas given me by the top dog himself, the Archbishop of Canterbury. He's a hunting chum of my father's. Aye, the Archbishop is a crack shot with a musket. You should see him at it, Foreman. Give the man half an hour and a pouch of lead shot, and he'll turn your duck pond into duck soup. It seems the Archbishop has had his eye on me for quite some time.
Verily, indeed.
He says I show great promise, and that under his personal tutelage I should rise very rapidly. He even said he has a mind to make me Bishop of Salisbury.
Ah, yes, the much-coveted bishopric of Salisbury.
But before I make my final decision, Foreman, I thought I'd better come to you first.
Aye, very wise of you. Then let us see what the stars foretell. Would my querent, Lancelot Moore, enjoy success as a clergyman?
The dude is trying to sleep with you? Fucking run. Also, why are you so unlucky, Lancelot? Vile hidden motives are at work. Promises will be broken. Moore's ambitions are misguided. He's being unrealistic about his suitability for the church. Serving under the Archbishop would be unpleasant. Yeah, that one. Good angels would transform Moore, turning him away from his present course of idleness and dissipation. God will help Moore with women. London will resound with flattering gossip of Moore's piety and seriousness, thus enhancing his romantic appeal. Dude, fucking get out of there.
May I discourse frankly, sir, as someone who has guided you these many years past?
Yea, I suppose so.
Have you considered that your particular tastes and proclivities might be ill-suited to a life of service in the church?
My tastes and proclivities? Ha! If you only knew of the tastes and proclivities indulged at the Archbishop's Palace in Lambeth, I would tell you what they are, Foreman. But what occurs at Lambeth Palace bides.
At Lambeth Palace. Yes, I'm well aware. But as for his offering you the bishopric of Salisbury, well, the stars do indicate that His Grace has promised the bishopric of Salisbury to every dean from here to the Isle of Man. He is unlikely to ever grant it to you.
Verily? He has? How very wrong of the Archbishop to make promises he does not keep. You were very right to warn me of this, for I do not think I could bide the company of such a man for long. I thank you, Foreman. You have served me well this day.
I do my best. Thank God all of my patients talk to each other and are involved in each other's lives, because if they weren't, never would have a chance. Yay, 8 letters of recommendation. We did it. It is just as well. It would have been a shame to hide my figure under those shapeless clergyman's robes.
Here comes crafty Elf. does she ask for now? Many times a week it is needless to say how. Despite her sins, may she be saved. The rest of what God gave. Here comes crafty Emma. What does she ask for now?
God give you good day, madam.
Good day to you, sir, and well met.
And how fares your husband, Lady Dyer? I recall you were worried for his health.
'Twas the diabetes, the disease you judged him as having. He died from wounds that never healed.
You mean the wound on his lordship's hand? But I recall you saying it was quite small.
Oh, yes, that wound was, but he acquired many more. One evening, whilst we were summering at our country estate, the stone railing of our balcony gave way, and he fell into some particularly thorny rose bushes.
Verily? How distressing. And he never recovered from the scratches?
Nay, 'twas most tragical and so forth.
Well, I am sorry to hear of your husband's passing, but, madam, are you quite well? You do not seem yourself this day, if I may remark on it.
Dr. Foreman, I am more myself than you have ever seen me, for during these past years I have been playing a role that has served me well, to be sure, but I am grown tired of it. Indeed, I am not proud of my dissembling. I'm not proud of some other things besides.
And doubtless you are come to unburden yourself by confessing your, what those things are.
What? Nay, of course not. As I was saying, whilst my dissimulations have afforded me wealth and status, such a life as I have lived has not fulfilled me. For though I have been married many times, and known many men, I have always lacked one important thing.
A moral compass?
And that thing is love. In short, I have found love, Dr. Foreman, and the object of my affection is not one of these privileged popinjays I've met at the royal court. Nay, 'tis a real man, a man who knows what it is to make his own way in the world.
Oh, you mean to say... You mean you and I?
Verily,
She's
upon seeing him play
killing
Tamara
people.
in Titus Andronicus at the Globe one even, I was, well, my heart was took.
I see. You are in love with a player then, I take it.
Aye, and I wish to marry him. But first, I would know whether such a match be advisable. Is our love true, or is my considerable coin and property where his true affections lie? Such a deception would not surprise me in truth.
Well, nay, doubtless it would not. Let us see whether the stars can tell us.
Emma's bow hides evil intentions. Emma's head has been turned. She is deluded in her hopes. The mind of Emma's beloved is on the coin he would inherit when Emma dies. I don't really see that from Henry. If Emma and I were romantic partners, I would not trust her. Emma's duty as a wife would be impossible to fulfill. It is a cruel to deprive a man of children. A marriage between Emma and her beau would be faithful and enduring. Emma's relationship with her young man has changed her. Yeah, totally this murderous widower. Absolutely.
The stars bless the match between you and the young man.
They do not think it would be bad for him in some way. They do not judge.
The chart indicates that your relationship with this young man has changed you. It would be a faithful, lasting marriage.
Verily? I must own I dared not expect such a happy ending to my story. I thank ye heartily, Dr. Foreman.
Yeah, try not to murder this one. I shall this evening to the playhouse go and ask my Humphrey to ask me to marry him.
Humphrey Bell, our thoughts we must disclose. Though your acting is fine, you wear too many clothes. 'Tis hot, rebride, but not, sit down, recline upon the
We absolutely need a horny emote so we can bonk these narrators whenever Humphrey shows up on screen.
Good day, Mr. Bell. I see here in my notes the last time you came to us for counsel regarding Mistress Burbage and her tender advances.
Aye, and the advice you gave me to cool her down and that worked her treat. Since I've been putting them herbs in her potage, she spends so much time in the privy, I hardly ever see her now.
That is... Well, I am glad my advice achieved the desired outcome and Mistress Burbage is no longer bothering you.
'Tis about another lady I'm come this day. 'Tis a member of the audience who comes to all my performances and brings me flowers and sweetmeats. A mature lady, a widow, innit?
Another one? On my word, you are most ill-fortuned, Mr. Bell. Verily, are no young players safe these days from being preyed upon by lecherous old ladies?
'Tis not all ladies, Dr. Foreman. Not this one, anyways. Emma ain't like any of the other ladies I've met. In truth,
she's
Dr.
murdering
Foreman,
her husband.
We wish to be wed. I love her, innit?
Then what is your trouble?
Well, I've heard tell of some vexing things. There are them that say she has a heart of stone and only marries to get her hands on a man's money, though I have none, and she be rich. But she has been widowed many times, and there's even a rumour saying she's had a hand in her husband's deaths.
She has.
Oh, verily?
Dude, run.
How shocking.
Aye, I must own to being a trifle shook by it, and maybe a bit excited as well, but mainly shook, innit?
Doubtless you are, for 'tis most frightening if there be any truth to these rumours. We must consult the stars and see whether it be wise for you to marry. Should Humphrey Bell wed this wealthy widow, and what will become of him if he does?
I'm sure everything will be fine. The lady's psychotic instincts regarding the amassing of wealth have changed. The rumors about the lady are cruel. Humphrey can expect a pleasant inheritance from this lady as she is very rich. In time, if he keeps the faith, Humphrey will have children with this lady. The lady has a creative approach to marriage and is not to be trusted. A death will occur on the couple's honeymoon. Beneath her gentle exterior, the lady harbors hidden motives. Nah, everything will be fine. I'm sure you'll definitely change her. I mean, she has only gone after wealthy men before, wealthy older men, and you're young and poor, so
Mr. Bell,
I'm sure it'll be fine.
It has been my privilege to guide you over the years, in matters of work and in life. Wisely, I hope, but certainly with the greatest sense of care for your well-being. Indeed, I have come to think of you as a father might think of a son. 'Tis a responsibility I have not taken lightly, and in loco parentis, as it were, I feel an obligation to...
Sir, begging your pardon, sir, but I'm going to stop you right there, because I need to know, innit? Should I marry Emma or not?
Yes. I believe you may safely marry this lady, Mr. Bell. The stars suggest the rumours you did hear about her are needlessly cruel.
So this all lies then?
Well, not quite all lies, nay. The stars do also indicate that the lady was formerly most fixated upon the acquisition of money, though it would seem she no longer harbours such pecuniary passions, such as is consistent with her desire to marry a penniless player such as yourself.
Sir, it is decided. I shall marry my dear, sweet Emma. I'd be honoured if you came to see us wed, Dr. Foreman, if you be not too busy in that.
The honour shall be all mine, young Humphrey.
He thinks I shall retire from the stage moonshine web, mayhap do some charity work or something.
Mary oft takes her young niece to the cockfighting pits. She prefers a hanging, though she readily admits. Viewed after drinking turnip wine until she's off her farm. La 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 la.
What swear word are they fa-la-la-la-lying over? Oh, tits. I was like, huh?
Good morrow, Mistress Payne. It has been quite some time since I last saw you. Did you ever hear from the Archbishop? I recall your husband was intending to write to him, expressing your concerns about the Continentals.
Aye, we did write. but he never replied. Not that I am surprised, mind you, as they do say that Archbishop Whitgift is a very idle man, not to speak of the unsavoury goings-on within the walls of Lambeth Palace. They say that in the great dining hall the Archbishop and his guests do feast and carouse from dusk till dawn, and 'tis said that in some of the palace rooms they indulge in fornication and sodomitical sins.
Verily, indeed. Then, doubtless that leaves him very little time to reply to every...
Truly, methinks being surrounded by such decadence and corruption of the flesh is likely to have made the Archbishop very hard. Aye, bearing witness to so much vice would make a man very hard indeed. Hard,
Freezing?
Dr. Foreman? Insensible to the needs and difficulties of ordinary folk such as you and I. Verily, I do not wonder that such a hard man gave me no satisfaction. Which is why I am come to you this day, Dr. Foreman. Something did trouble me last night, and I would have you tell me what it might have been.
I will if I can, madam. Prithee, describe it to me.
Well, at first was the noise of a boat that did awaken me. I got up out of bed and went to the window to see what was. As you know, on 4th Street we are right by the banks of the Thames. In the moonlight, I could just make out a ferry crossing the river, loaded up with large barrels.
And you thought it suspicious?
Aye, indeed, for the hour was very late and the boat's lamp was not lit. I did not wake Mr. Payne to ask his opinion, for, in truth, he has told me he wishes to hear no more about the things I see from our window. So, I am come to you, for I can have no rest until I know who those men were and what they were doing. Who knows what foul deeds may be afoot in Lambeth Town? Mayhap the men I saw were Catholic spies, engaging in some manner of nefarious plot against the realm.
Then let us see. What does God have to say regarding this boat you saw crossing the Thames last night? Was it some kind of elaborate Catholic plot, or is there a more likely explanation?
Mistress Payne is unpleasant and delusional, is unhappy with her children, they are doubtless grown up and are now neglecting her, wants to change the world, that is the legacy she intends to leave. The goods the boat were transporting were of questionable provenance. The information should be reported to the authorities, ideally a friend or acquaintance with some connection to them. The boat's journey was undertaken for evil purposes. The ambitions of disloyal, untamed forces are at play here. Yeah, fuck this lady. Freezing.
Madam, we must approach this in a calm, reasonable manner. If a grand plot against the realm were afoot, is it likely that it would be taking place at the end of your street? How now, Mistress Payne? There is surely a perfectly innocent explanation for a boat with a broken lamp crossing a river at night.
Then the stars say 'twas no Catholic plotters at work.
Mistress Payne, I must wonder whether there be a reason for your grand imaginings of Catholics around every corner plotting against the English realm. Might this fixation be occasioned by painful affairs close to home that you would rather not think on? For instance, mayhap you have a son who has lately not writ you a letter. I do assure you, loneliness at your time of life is quite normal. Many women in your situation do oft call upon their doctors when they feel...
Hold, sir. I am a very busy woman, and I take my responsibility to my community most seriously. I have not the time for, nor do I appreciate your idle speculations regarding my domestic affairs. Mark me, Dr. Foreman, if it verily was a band of Catholic conspirators I saw last night, 'twill not be the last we hear of them.
Yeah, I'm sure. What was the name they called the Continentals in the pamphlet I read? Waffle-faced tulip-huggers, methinks. Such cheats.
Hear ye, hear ye! Catholic terror plot to blow up Parliament foiled! Gunpowder barrels discovered in cellar! Hear ye!
Oh, turns out she was right. Disturbing reports just in from the Westminster that barrels of gunpowder were discovered in a cellar under the Houses of Parliament late last night. Sources indicate that this gunpowder plot was a Catholic conspiracy led by Robert Catesby and assisted by the Continental by the name of Guido Fawkes.
'Tis well to jest
Oh,
and
God.
merry pain, 'tis well to sneer and mock, until her views become the norm, then 'twill be quite a shock. But for now let's laugh at her and how her niece laughs. How her niece laughs, la 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 la.
Good day, Mistress Payne. You seem in good cheer.
That I am, Dr. Foreman. This day I am taking my niece on a lovely outing to see the cockfighting in Vauxhall.
Ah, there is a cockpit in Vauxhall now, is there?
Aye, and a very fine one. And I did think we need a nice day out to turn our minds away from that terrible affair of the Catholics plotting to blow up the Houses of Parliament. And my niece does so love the cocks.
Doubtless, madam. And the gunpowder plot was indeed a terrible business.
They say it was the doings of a group of young Catholic nobles from the Midlands, do they not? And that the gunpowder was ferried across the Thames at Lambeth under cover of darkness. Doubtless, 'twas the very same boat I did tell you about, Dr. Foreman.
Yeah.
As I recall, 'twas your opinion that what I saw was naught but an idle fancy. On my honour, Dr. Foreman, I warrant you would not be so quick to dismiss my concerns now. Indeed, after this frightening affair with the gunpowder, many folks in Lambeth are paying heed to my warnings about Catholics and Continentals.
Doubtless, madam, but this day your concern should be your health. For I do remark that your eyes are red and irritated in appearance, and you seem troubled with a hacking cough. For how long have you had these troubles?
Only these past few days, and as well as my eyes and my cough, I do also find it a trifle vexing to breathe.
Then let us now consult the stars. What ails Mistress Mary Payne?
Bloodshot eyes, a condition characterized by red, itchy eyes. Lungs have been harmed to the inflammation of noxious odors. Suffering from the green sickness, a disease that can provoke short-windedness owing to a buildup of venereal frustration. So you're not getting any.
Ah, madam, you are troubled with the green sickness. According to my medical reference, 'tis a rather unusual malady, occasioned by the accumulation of venereal frustrations that have not been evacuated from the body. Ah, yes, this would cause the breathing problems you now seem to be experiencing, and as well as the alarming pallor you appear to be developing on your face. Now, it says here that treatment may be obtained by partaking of carnal pleasures from either...
Mercy! What is in you, Dr. Foreman? Never did I hear such filthy insinuations.
On my word, I do apologize, madam. Indeed, it does appear that the green sickness is suffered only by young maidens, and you are not... Indeed, perchance I read my chart upside down. Doubtless there is a more ordinary explanation for your... Hold. What is that acrid odour? Methinks it does emanate from your clothing. Madam, have you been taking part in the anti-Catholic pogroms that Lambeth has witnessed these past days? The burning of houses and shops, the lynching of priests from trees upon Lambeth Green.
Mayhap I have, and what of it? You should be congratulating me and my ilk for keeping you safe, and for sending a clear message to those Catholics who would plot against our Parliament and blow us up with gunpowder.
Madam, these Catholics are our neighbours, our colleagues, and our friends. I beseech you to consider your actions, madam. Are not Catholics people too, just as we are? If you prick them, do they not bleed?
Aye, and their flesh does burn the same and all. I fear I do not follow your reasoning, Dr. Foreman.
Are they not subject to the same diseases, healed by the same cures as we are? And if not cured, then, alas, taken so soon, so needlessly. I did never have the chance to... Oh, my sweet Avis, can you ever forgive me?
Is something the matter with you, Dr. Foreman? On my honour, you do seem most troubled.
Avis died
Mayhap you should be going to
ages
consult
ago.
with a doctor yourself. God keep you well, Dr. Foreman. Blessed day.
Mayhap we make a list of which shops and taverns are Catholic-owned. Methinks our actions should be a trifle more organized.
Hear ye! Hear ye! London struck by plague. Playhouses closed by order of the king. Hear ye!
Oh god. Be advised that if you are experiencing any of the following plague symptoms, fever, abdominal pain, lumps on your groin, oozing foul pus, send word to local authorities and a team of carpenters will be dispatched to your place of residence to board up your house, so you may not roam about infecting others. Please ensure dead loved ones are ready to be deposited in the plague cart when it passes each evening. Corpses deposited on the streets outside of collection hours will incur a fine of 1 shilling. Uh-oh.
Save us, Almighty Lord. Save us from the wrath of God. Upon us he hath wrought his vengeance just, rest in rest, and death, and death, with God, forsooth. Is that not your job?
God give you good day, your grace. How fare you this...
Know you whether the plague will reach as far as Lambeth? Have you seen it in the stars?
The plague that has begun to spread throughout London. Rest assured, your grace, if the plague does indeed reach Lambeth, the people of Lambeth will have me, Dr. Simon Foreman, at their service. My renowned strong water cure will doubtless be required.
I bid you, read the stars for me now. Will or will it not reach Lambeth?
Of course, as it pleases your grace. Let us see what the stars have to say. Will the London plague reach beyond the city walls to Lambeth?
I'm gonna go with yes. The rumors of the plague reaching Lambeth are not credible. Death from the plague is God's punishment for our sins. The Archbishop has nothing to fear from the plague. He has but to exercise patience and threats will pass. It is the Archbishop's duty to stay in Lambeth and help to fight the plague. Lambeth society may be peaceful now, but people can behave unpredictably during a grave health crisis. The Archbishop must embark upon a voyage. What? Huh? I guess we'll go with this one.
Yes. The stars are most clear on the matter. Very clear indeed.
Then what do they say? Tell me!
Well, before I give you my answer, I would have your decision on granting me that medical license we spoke of on your previous visits. I am sorry, Your Grace, but I must insist upon it.
I would gladly do so, but I find my hands tied due to various episcopal and doctrinal... As I see you are determined not to let the matter rest, I will speak true. Some years ago, the Queen's physician, Dr. Richard Smith, did write me a letter on behalf of the College of Physicians. He warned me in the strongest terms against granting you a medical license. So you see, I cannot grant you a license without raising the ire of the College of Physicians.
But...
Now, Dr. Foreman, doubtless you are thinking that a man of my position, one of the most powerful men in England, should not be so easily put off by such a letter. However, and methinks you know this from your own experience, the college is a terrifying organization that will stop at nothing to get their way. One would be better off defying the Queen herself than the licensed doctors of London. For whilst our Lord God in heaven may be merciful, the College of Physicians is not.
Aye, verily, I must own that what you say is very true.
But mayhap I will furnish you with a letter of recommendation to the University of Cambridge. They may confer upon you a medical degree, and thereby a medical license.
I thank you, Your Grace.
Now, prithee, answer my question.
Your Grace, I am sorry to inform you that Lambeth will not escape the plague this time. It will reach Lambeth before the week is out.
God's mercy! Are you sure of this?
Aye, it seems this plague is God's punishment upon us, though 'tis not clear in the stars what the punishment is for. Debauchery, mayhap? Insufficient burning of heretics? 'Tis hard to know. No doubt such questions as these will occupy your thoughts in the coming hours and days, though doubtless your priority lies with preparing your clergy and their congregations for the trials to come.
Yes, indeed. I must start preparing the household now if we are to remove to Sussex before the plague reaches us.
But surely you're not leaving Lambeth, Your Grace. Not in its hour of need.
Worry not, Dr. Foreman. I will, of course, have my vicars remain, so they may give last rites to their parishioners.
Before you go, Your Grace, I believe you were intending to write me a letter of recommendation.
Well, indeed, I will reflect on the quality of advice you have given me over the years, and if I judge that you have acted with some skill, then I will have my chaplain draft you a letter of recommendation and have it sent to you. Good day, Dr. Foreman.
This guy, dude. I will deliver a sermon on the lessons we might learn from Noah and the flood. Sir, I thank you for your recent submission of several letters of recommendation. I am pleased to inform you that these letters, being of sufficient quality and number, have been credited towards the obtention of a medical degree. Please find enclosed your license to practice medicine. John Caldwell, Vice Chancellor, University of Cambridge. Get fucked.
Foreman gained a license to everyone's surprise. A true and proper doctor at last legitimized. But now he's risen not so far from whence he began. We'll be common folk still, see Foreman as our man.
You cannot board up my house! 'Tis not a plague house! You are mistaken! I do not have the plague! Let me out of here! Know you not who I am, you fools? I am Simon Foreman, Doctor of Astrology and Physic! Fie upon those ungrateful wretches! Have I not always been there for them when they needed me? Am I not the doctor who risked his life to cure them during the plague of '92, when all the other doctors and their high-born friends fled London and left them to die? Indeed, mayhap next time I will think again before risking my life in the service of the townsfolk, if this is the way I'm to be repaid. And forsooth, if my deeds are so easily forgotten by the living, what chance is there for my work to be remembered by generations to come? What will the world know of me once I'm gone?
This speaks of quiet violence exacted by a genteel woman with hidden motives. I will be remembered for having given something valuable to a psychopath to hide somewhere. Forsooth, how strange, whatever could that be? A potion comprised of costly ingredients? My name will be mentioned in court during a famous legal battle. It will be a long time before my ingenious contributions are properly recognized by historians. Good angels will ensure that the manner of my death serves as a testament to the intelligence, accuracy, and soundness of my methods. As an authority in the field of astrological science, my relationship with myself will change when I embark upon a voyage to which my death will occur while traveling. I guess we go with B?
Ah, I see. Many years will pass before my work is to be given the recognition it deserves. Men living centuries from now, mayhap even ladies, will study my treatises and casebooks with great care and write histories about my work. But hold, does not Mr. Shakespeare tell the lives of great men upon the stage? Perchance playwrights will use the wondrous stage machinery of the future to illuminate my work. Mayhap the story of my life will be told by players. For my work is of great historical importance, and now that I have a medical license, not even the College of Physicians has the power to discredit me. But if I am to go forth into the world to make any further contributions to the advancement of medical science, I must find a way to pry these wretched boards off my front door. William! William! Fetch me a crowbar!
I love that little, I was hoping they were going to do something like that, a little nod towards the the playwright of the future, i.e. video games, will tell of his work. That's really cute. I like that. I did wish to know how I would be remembered in years to come. I judged that it would be many years before my historical contributions were properly recognized.
Long ago in England in 1592, there begins our tale, and all of it is true. Through all of London, bubonic plague did spread, covering folk in weeping sores and leaving thousands dead.
From towns and cities, doctors they did flee, leaving their patients to die in misery.
But one brave doctor stayed when all the cowards fled, might have been because he was too sick to leave his bed.
Foreman made a plague cure and used it on himself, then left his house to restore Londoners to health.
It was a nice little game.
Huzzah! 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 Huzzah!
Simon Foreman, he cured us of the plague. 'Tis true,
Some details are a little vague, but we know he used astrology and doses of strong water. So what if he be not a proper licensed doctor?
but then the doctors started to come back and saw themselves replaced by a man they called a quack. They said
This man has no medical degree. He treats his patients with bad astrology. So woman
to
bound,
get his license and make the doubters see that he was now the best doctor in the city.
I will pay no heed, he said.
To those who scoff and laugh,
For my satisfied patients will speak on my behalf. Simon Foreman,
he cured us of the plague. 'Tis true,
some details are a little vague, but we know he used astrology and doses of strong water. So what if he be not a proper licensed doctor? Though he is not quite a proper doctor yet, one day a license he will surely get. But if he rises up too high from whence he began, will be common folk still see Foreman as a man. Simon Foreman,
he cured us of the plague. 'Tis true,
some details are a little vague, but we know he used astrology and doses of strong water. So what if he be not a proper licensed doctor?
What a nice little game. That was fun. It was cute. It was definitely a little confusing, but I definitely think that this is a game that is intended to have multiple playthroughs. Like, you're either going in with a guide to get it all right the first time, or you kind of just play it through blind and then play it through a second time so you can get everything quote-unquote correct. And likely get, it's like, what are the achievements? Let's see. What achievements didn't... I unlocked all of the achievements. Never mind. So I got everything in the first round. So even if I didn't get all of them, like, I just had to see through the storylines. I didn't have to get them done specifically. And we, like, probably one of the big things is getting a medical license, which you have to get 8 letters of recommendation, which I was able to do because I think you had like 12 characters, 10 to 12, and you had to get 8 to 100, and I didn't get the Mistress to 100, and I don't think I got Robert Devereaux to 100, but I think I got everybody else. Yeah. I thought I might have to do another run to get 100% achievements, but really just playing through the game, I was able to get 100%. And it took us about 7 hours, which was, I think, what my spreadsheet said. Yeah, 7.5 was about time to beat, and I did it in 6.8, so not bad, not bad. So I'm actually, and I'm gonna copy this and put that here, because I also have to do that for Baldur's Gate now as well. Yeah, that'll be, I don't know when GMT is. I have to think about it. But yeah, that was a nice little game. I enjoyed it. So that means that Hades is next. And I'm actually gonna hop off an hour early, instead of getting everything set up and only playing Hades for like half an hour, because I do have to install it. So yeah, I'm gonna head off a little bit early, and I'll be back at my normal time at 2 p.m. But before I go, there was one thing that I wanted to do that I didn't do, so hold on one second. Let's see. Where is... This is what I wanted. Shorten the URL. So, as I announced on Twitter yesterday, I would like to do a little podcast little segment on the last Saturday of every month. It's called Dear Reader with Love, Celine, where essentially I just, if you've ever heard of radio call-in shows or advice columns in the newspaper way back in the day, where essentially you have a question or a problem that you would like life advice on, or just, advice in general. You submit a question or a story, and I will comment on it. And I think it could be fun. And I have now a link to it. So yeah, you can submit a story or a question through the Google form, and I'll be compiling them all and hopefully doing them on the last Saturday of every month. And I think it'll be fun. So if you have anything, feel free to submit your stories. And if not, just retweet or like or whatever my tweet on Twitter. Be very appreciated. I'll be back at 2 p.m. EST to begin Hades, which should be fun. I've never played Hades. I've seen 3 seconds of clips of it, so I don't know anything about the game or how it plays or anything like that, so should be a fun time, and I hope to see you all there. I'm going to play a couple minutes of ads to send us off. You'd be so kind as to stick around. I'd appreciate it so much. And I hope to see you all again soon. And if not, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Have a good one, everyone. Hopefully see you in a few hours. Bye.